TikTok added this thing that gives you a bottle of TikTok soda on top of your head, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to represent the color of your skin. So if this is black, that means you're black. This guy's trying to say, nah, it's just black soda. That has to be the most ridiculous theory I've ever heard. Like, how creative do you have to be to come up with something like that? But I definitely don't think it is just black soda. There's definitely a meaning behind it because soda doesn't ever come in black. It only comes in pink, yellow, and orange.
Also, while I'm doing that, I just need to share something. I was doing my washing today, my like clothes washing. Also, I love that video. I feel like I need to justify the difference. And look what I've done. Here's my watch. It was bigger. It went up to like the six. It went up to like the eight. It went up to like the 9 and 3. So the water's come out a bit. I don't. It's like okay. So I've started. Let's continue. I hope you enjoy. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's just play. They saying, well, love. This is gonna be another weird thing. I'm catching up again because I'm getting going on holiday. So this is for Friday. If you're on YouTube, you'll be seeing this on Friday. Oh.
So one thing which I will always say is wrestling is about showman. It's about characters. So you don't always have the best person win the fight because it's about a story. So if that's the case, and I'm going with the character I usually present myself as, the soft YouTuber, that sort of line of that sort of like evil, because I play myself off a lot of the time as I'm the bad guy. I'm not the good guy. And even if I win or lose, that sort of calculating, sort of like, I think this is done. I think this is really over. Not yet. I've only just begun. That sort of music would, alongside it being badass and awesome, it fits as a character sort of piece, which sometimes wrestling is about acting.
This song is about to win. 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 If you stuck around, then you're truly great. So send this to your friend and see what they say. Did they send you this reply?
Tell us where the talking llama is, and we'll burn your house to the ground.
Don't you mean or?
Tell us where the talking llama is, or we'll burn your house.
Hey, usually there'll be a bunch of useless, like, a lot of annoying, like, I'm doing the. Oh, wait, shoot. I fixed my lighting's problem. Also, there's gonna be like 9 videos, so my solution is I'm going to just have it over like 9 days. So like it'll just be like one on all the 9, because technically all of the ones will be done today. So it'll be like 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30, 31, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to like the 3rd. I will put something on. Also, like this week, next week's gonna, the next couple of weeks to like the next 2 months is gonna be weird. Yeah. So prepared for that. All of the YouTube stuff will be streaming on the exact same time, so nothing on that end will have changed. But okay. Let's go. It is spreading so far.
F is for fire that burns down the whole town, used for uranium bombs. N is for no survivors.
So even in let's move, please. Anyway, even in the one that's being produced today, for the one it says that one that was Sunday before I went on the weekend holiday. Yay! Anyway, it said I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go out and like next week's gonna be hectic. It's not really, because my original plan was to do today being Monday, Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, and then double up a couple of them. But then I realized I don't like that. Yeah, I can do that, but unless I'm going on holiday, I'm going to try and not do that. If you know what I mean. Kind of. I don't know. So I'm not. It's going to go back to normal. Well, kind of. It's going to be a bit later in a bit, but you're going to get the same stuff on the same day, so you don't need to worry about that. So yeah. So yeah, first series back, and it's another Taskmaster. Yeah, at a certain point, one, this was a while ago. Two, at a certain point, I was just watching Taskmaster. I was like, okay, I need to finish this because I want to watch the other season. The last season was so good, and usually I watch this in between anime, usually beforehand. And then I'm like, no, I need to finish this. I need to absolutely finish this because this is amazing. Again, I did a bit of a stupid error. I will bring that up on the respective season, that makes sense, which most likely will be in the next couple of days. But please, it is really stupid, but really hilarious. But yes, this is awesome. It is so good. It is so amazing. And it's absolutely 100%. You go and watch it. It's really good. I don't know why. Go and watch it. It's just so good and so great. Watch it. Okay, so we're live. Yay. Man, I just needed to get my outfit on. I want to say outfit like this is my outfit. Yeah. I've been busy editing 34. If you know me, I'm going back to like I mentioned before, but I'm going back to editing on like this and that. And like, why am I editing the 34th? Because a couple of things. I noticed I make montage and you're thinking, oh, why don't you just do the 33rd? Because I've edited part 30. No, why am I saying 30? 24. I've been editing part 24, and I'm still editing part 24. And I've done that. And I'm just gonna remove a couple of yes, quit. Shut up. Okay, so that's good.
Did you put your name into the goblet of fire, Harry? Dumbledore asked calmly.
Harry! I protest!
Harry, you put your name in the cupboard.
Get this. Get this. Then this. Because that allows me to just get a bit more transmission. I've learned my lesson too many times. Library. What? The Fence Tower Fest. Don't know what that is. Anyway. Whoosh. Yeah, I've got like.
Did you put your name into the goblet of fire, Harry? Dumbledore asked calmly.
Harry! I protest!
Harry, you put your name in the cupboard.
Well, hello again, friend. I'm a skeleton returning from the dead, determined to be relevant again. So I'm following trends from the nether to the end. And I've got a bone to pick with you, little human. Bone to pick with you, little human being. I've seen where you've been and I don't like it. I've got a bow to shoot at you, little human. Bow to shoot at you, little human being. I know where you sleep, so don't make a peep. Close your eyes, don't peek. Sweet dreams!
Hello there! Are you hurt?
I'm Amy.
Hello, Amy. I'm Lori.
I know. You brought my sister back after the dance. I would have never sprained my ankle. I have lovely small feet, the best in the family. But I can never go home again because I'm in such trouble.
Alexa, stop timer.
Oi, Brando, looking for us? I'm not armed.
They're supposed to make me not shoot you.
Ideally. So, temporal displacement weapon. Horrible things, can't stand them.
Thank you.
Not a compliment. I think you and I both know your weapon's pretty much out of juice. And I've got your spare battery. You've been leaving traces of residual Artron energy all over 1955.
And why are you, the Artron police? Blue box in the alley. Is it a TARDIS?
Might be. What's it to you?
Well, it could be worth a lot.
Nah, not that one. Second hand. Huge mileage. One careless owner.
So quick updation. Taskmaster, Champions of Champions. So the reason why I watched this was, one, there was one more, and then I realized they did it for the previous 2 fights. So between fights 1 to 10, I've already reviewed that, and that's out. But they also, 1 to 5 they did one, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. Which that means through this, the 2 that we're reviewing, which I will still say watch, including the first one, because this is just getting in each one of the series 1 to 5, series 6 to 10, and series 11 to 15, they're getting the 5 people who won that, except season 15, who they did not have the winner. They got the person in second place. Don't know why. But that's besides the point. I liked him, so I did not care. So yeah, those 5 people came together and did it, and it's fun.
You want to ban drag show readings to children?
To minors, yes.
Why?
Why?
What are you protecting?
Why can we prohibit children from voting, those under 18 from voting?
Is that free speech?
They can continue to exercise their free speech, just not in front of a child.
Why?
Because the government does have a responsibility to protect...
I'm sorry?
The government does have a responsibility in certain instances to
What's
protect
the
children.
leading cause of death amongst children in this country? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not drag show readings to children.
Correct, yes.
So what is it?
I'm presuming you're going to say it's firearms.
No, I'm not going to say it like it's an opinion. That's what it is. It's firearms. More than cancer, more than car accidents. And what you're telling me is you don't mind infringing free speech to protect children from this amorphous thing that you think of. But when it comes to children that have died, you don't give a flying fuck to stop that, because that shall not be infringed. That is hypocrisy at its highest order.
Things you wouldn't hear at the Olympics.
And the French have 4 faults: their language, their food, their underarm hair, and the fact that they are French.
Looks like it's just the 2 of us. Just the 2 of us. In this classroom in the sky. Crimes of passion are just fine when enacted on AI.
It must be that's a mistake, isn't it?
Somebody's jealous.
Jealous.
of me being dead.
Yeah, you don't even know what it is, so why would I be jealous?
Yes, I do. As far back as I can remember. I always knew I deserved to be dead.
Do most of your TikToks get stuck between 200 and 300 views? Yeah? Well, so do mine. What am I doing wrong, TikTok? Huh? What am I doing wrong? Tell me. Tell me. You want me to get on my hands and knees? I'll do it. Tell me. Tell
Okay.
Red hot. You're up.
Okay. Okay, restart immediately.
This match will get red hot.
We're here.
I feel a murder may be happening. Or is it? Let's see and find out. So, yeah, this story is about, like, a couple other stuff, which is similar to this, which is basically getting reincarnated into another sort of, like, fictional world, like a book, TV show, game, that they exist in this world, sort of. One of those shows where it's like, here's a TV show, but I am the villainous, or like, and I like that. That's the other one of the two, because you either get the I've
became into a fantasy world and I don't know what's going on, but I have magic now and it's super insane and super powerful and no one really knows it. Either from fantasy to fantasy or from real life to fantasy, and there's one more that I'm just starting to watch which I absolutely like, but I'm not going to talk about that one. But the other one I like is when you have someone who's like, oh, and I'm going into this villainous. Obviously, you have a couple of villainous roles, where it's like reincarnation has a villainous. This is similar, because the idea of like reincarnation into a villainous is villainous. Oh no, and I'm the bad guy, and this will end badly. And I like that. But I like this one's interesting because it's not that. It is sort of like a plot relevant thing. But in the traditional plot, you die. You're like the reason for the whole thing rolling into the story. Like, you die and what's happening? And that's how sort of like, in universe, the sort of story of I think it's a game, works. And I like it. It's really good. And I think it's really interesting. But yeah, I like that idea of how that works. And how that overall comes together. So yeah. The one thing, and the only small bit, this is going to be a little bit smaller than most of the sections where you have multiple sections. But the one thing I like is this guy, because he has this sort of like level of like cheekiness that just is fun as a character. We don't know what his deal is, but having him like go along with this and do a couple of things make him seem like really interesting as a character. And I do like it. It is really interesting. So yeah, this is fun. There's not much to say about it because it is simple, it is fun, it is entertaining, and I would definitely recommend to watch. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and good night.
I haven't slept in 8 days.
Well then, can I get you a cot or something?
Nope, I've got the caffeine patch. It's my invention. Each patch is the equivalent of 12 cups of coffee. You can stay awake for days with no side effects. Ah! Sorry.
Let's see what happens. Death and destruction. It looks really cool. Besides the eyes, which looks a bit glassy, it looks decent. Also, the fingers aren't that bad. Besides the ones that aren't mainly out. Here's another one. The fingers looking actually somewhat good. This is weird, but this is fun. This is the art, I guess. So yeah, here's another one. Time for darkness. So yeah. Here is the last one. Okay. Yay, I can go up there. Okay. Okay, that was completely a waste of my time. But because like I'm making highlights now, which is nice. Because this is all for love. Yeah, I had no fun intros, but yeah. This is a amazing series. So I like this series because at first I thought it was going to be like, okay, you're just going to have like, the joke's going to be like, it's like, because at the beginning it just looks like, yes, please step on me. I'm like, oh, it's fine. And then it just turns into these two people who are both female having a relationship. It's just nice. And yeah. There's not much to say about it. And the spoilers is just going to be like, one point. But yeah, it's good. Watch it. There's not really a reason. It's just good. So yeah. So the one point which I want to mention, and yes, I just made it in 1 minute because ease. was simply that one of the things that they have in this is when they narrate, is like, all of a sudden she's doing this opposite thing. And like, she narrates how the game is like after, like she does something and I was like, well, I realized this happened because X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh yeah, that's just funny. But like, it's like, yeah, how do you do that? And it was like, oh wait, gaming logic. It's like, yeah, I know the code. I know exactly how to play it. It's like, yeah, I was with this prince because you were with this person. It's just like describing how she would play the game to be around for one person. And it's just really fun. I also like the fact that somehow the game, or like the reality seems to be a bit weird. But yeah, it is fun. It is really good. And yeah, it's just really nice. So yeah, it's so good, so amazing. I 100% recommend to watch it. So I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
There's no reason to be scared, Pato. It's okay. Oh dear.
I mean, I've barely started my 20s. I'm almost 21, so
Yes,
like,
yes,
how
yes.
far have I gotten? I'm gonna be immortal!
Cause I have $30,000 in credit card debt. When they call, I tell them I can't pay it back yet. Credit card debt. Tomorrow I may buy myself a dining room set or this Boba Fett. Credit card debt.
No, I could be red, or I could be yellow, I could be blue, or I could be purple.
Purple guy!
Okay, right, I'll do what I did before. Oh, I was so close. Okay, let's try. Bum 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 crime. Also, I'm stopped using. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, crying out loud, I hate you, you banana. Great, can you work now? Okay. Okay, right, I'll do what I did before. Oh, I was so close. This is good, I've got a good starting bonus. I wish there was a way to automatically set language to English. Also, why is it in gaming? That's interesting. Maybe it should just be in just chatting. Also, I hate that you can't just make a costume.
I adopted a child from overseas to rescue him from child labor factories, and on his very first birthday we went to Build-A-Bear Workshop.
So, besides having a couple less to review, because glitchy happened, Season 16, still good. And besides my blunder that I did months ago by this point, probably like a month or two ago, again, not much I can do, not much else. This is amazing, this is awesome, and tomorrow I'll talk about what I actually did and what made it a problem. But besides this, when I watched this, I did the thing that I'm going to refer to yesterday, and yeah, I know Season 18 is coming out like this year, which makes me excited. It means that like there might be a 20 and another Champions of Champions. And that means if we do another 5, we can have a Champions of Champions of Champions. Let's see if we can do that. Champions of Champions of Champions, 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 Champions. You've had nearly 5 Champions of Champions, so.
Hey, wait a second. Aren't you supposed to be in class right now? Oh, you're not supposed to be in class. Okay, my bad. I just had this weird idea that you were supposed to be in sociology class right now. So you're skipping sociology class to go to a concert? Okay, here's what I'm gonna tell your sociology teacher. I'm gonna say that you were very sick.
Okay, and now, obviously, through all your battles and all my rhymes, you have failed and perished 338 times. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if this is going to be. Actually, I don't got enough points that I could go. Video producer. I know there's clips, but I have no idea. Use clips. There's probably a way, but I have no idea how to clip stuff.
So yeah, season 17, and as I've been alluding through like I think up to like season 14, there was a slight error I made. So Netflix does season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I thought this did the same, so accidentally started season 17 before. So when I started, I think in season 15, I started season 17 and then went all the way back being like, oh shoot, I need to go back. But this is still really good, really entertaining, and really fun. And knowing how many episodes there are, is just really exciting. I also know they've announced some of the names for season 18. But one, because you can find it out really easy. And two, I don't know any of them, so I'm not going to be like hyped for anyone specifically. They're just all just 5 people who are comedians, supposedly. I'm not going to say who's going to be, because, again,
Gandalf the White. Gandalf the Fool. Who can play at that game, Saruman the White? Or should I say, Saruman the Stupid? What? Saruman the Silly? Stop that. Saruman the Wrinkly. Stop. Saruman the Stinky! No!
Hello, welcome to the Dad. I actually like this because it looks really well. Definitely with this mainly. Hello, welcome to the underworld. I would like to need to take your paperwork. Please sign here, here, and here. Good luck, you will be. This would be a place to die for. I don't know. I just like this. It looks really good. It looks like yes. I don't know why my first model is like yes. Oh god. Yes, I have been working at a retail shop. How long? Don't worry. I forgot the. When was 2021? I remember when I wasn't working here before. It was 2001. How long has it been since then? 25 years. Oh. Yeah.
Go for it. Break a leg. That's an awful thing to say. It means good luck. Oh, then Becky, I sincerely hope you were hit by a bus.
Immediately once this number starts going up, then that's my plan. Then pandemic, long time. Oh, okay, basically something. Okay. Then let's continue. Let's continue. Again, open your window. Because it's so late. Hello, we disconnected and reconnected because I am an idiot. Yep, did it twice. Also, I said yesterday that I was making sort of a brioche. I think the cheese has sort of looked a little bit different, but it's not that bad. For like a second attempt, actually you can see the cheese is like a little bit lighter, but it looks really nice. It tastes really good. Here's another one that has more of the garlicky butter, and the recipe's really good. And it's like yummy.
And now, a completely normal trip to the grocery store. How the fuck did we get here? It was supposed to be a normal trip. Why does this always happen? We were just supposed to get bread.
So this is Taskmaster Treat New Year's, which they've had 2020, 2023, and 2024. So yeah, that's happened. I've watched all 3. I don't know if they're going to do one for 2025, which would be this year, which is weird, because it's currently 2024. Obviously they're doing it for the next year, but it's like really weird to think about it. Like, but yeah, where they get non-comedians and do the same thing. It's really fun, it's really exciting, and yeah, if they do 2025, I'll just talk about 2025, but it'll just be me saying this is, watch it, go and watch it. But I am still 100% excited for season 18, because that, I don't know when that's coming out, I think September.
Yeah.
How about no? You had me fucked up with the first one, but then you see the second one, it's like, I can't even fucking go around this motherfucker. Not that that's a good idea either, fucking go around the side and become pizza dough. Who the fuck is driving the white van? Fucking cojones on that motherfucker. That motherfucker either has balls of steel or he's fucking asleep at the wheel. How the fuck do you get that close? Just one bump, just one pothole, that's all it's gonna take, and then you're gonna look like a fucking eraser you buy at the store.
And you're gone.
I can show you the world.
You have $2.03.
I can show you my driveway.
Come on, you old cunt. We're going on an adventure.
How about get fucked, mate?
How about you're a wanker?
This place is great. You know, it's whimsical and fun.
What are you looking at, motherfucker?
I'm trying extremely hard not to lose my freaking mind.
I see you. Watching my videos, scrolling on past. Not hitting that like button right there? What's the matter? Button don't work? I'm funny, okay? You keep watching.
Oh, 1%, 1%, we're going to 1%. 1%, 1%, 1%. To my, I've got so roundabout the editing that I have just edited last week's episode, and this Monday I'm going to edit this one, meaning in total it's going to be a thing where like I'm going to be able to like edit and like if we take like the stairs up here like I've done before. If we continue the editing, on Monday, I'm gonna like not review. Tuesday, not gonna review. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, then I'll review the episode on Friday, and then the Sunday will be the one that I would just add on Saturday, so that I can add it on Tuesday. And that would be sort of the idea.
So let's get into the secret with the Union. I don't know why at the moment I did, but it sounded like I'm like, join the Union. But yeah, the Union. So I saw this because sometimes when I'm bored and I'm watching something, I would open up Netflix and like looking up, oh, what's come next? And then the Union came up, which looked both cheesy, fun, and entertaining. And I was like, yeah. It's really good and really interesting. I like the story, but I am going to be clear. This is less spy and more romance, which I'm not a problem with it because the spy stuff that happens is good enough and it just holds me for a bit. And their dynamic is just fine enough. Again, I'm not fan of romance sort of stuff. I'm not going to be like, I'm a man, I don't like romance, because trust me, if there's going to be series later that disprove that theory. No, I just thought it was like fine, just two people just talking, joking, which is the one thing I am gonna like about it. The banter, you can feel like them two having a connection, and I do like that. That is so nice. It's like so sweet. The other thing I like is the fact that their relationship is like, it's not like, oh, two people meet. It's like, oh, a long lost friend that I like remember having when I was younger. And it's like really interesting and like really like nice. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay. This is a spy movie. So spoilers is important. But 4, 3, 2, 1. The one thing I like is that midway through this movie, because at the beginning, someone dies. Right? But, oh no, they didn't. And it turns out he faked his death, supposedly. We'll get into that in a minute. So that the big bad, the big person in charge of the actual Union, who's actually evil, doesn't realize that. And then he can overthrow them and be like, yeah, you're actually the bad guy. Twist, he was the bad guy all along. And then he's trying to make the Union fall. Because if the Union fall, like, all of it will collapse and, like, it'll be terrible. And then he can gain profit and he's greedy. That's the one thing I don't like about the spy portion. Because, like, you always get, like, and I was greedy all along. And I'm like, oh, shut up. That's the most boring reason for, like, and then this person was evil. And then this person became evil and manipulative and started stealing things. And I'm like, oh, shut up. I'm like, yes, that's a good reason, but do better, in my opinion. But I actually fell for it when he told the lie. But the only bad thing was I thought it would have been a good idea because you are with the male protagonist. Because you don't know about this world. You don't know about the Union. And you're slowly getting into the spy world. So you're on not his side. Because at some points that, like, some people might agree with her more. Which is fair and valid. But with the stuff with the spies, you don't know as much. Who's lying, who's telling the truth. What's the history of all of this. You do know that, like, oh, these two people have a bit of history. But it's the moment that, like, they left and it's like, oh, wow. And it's like, oh, yeah, he was lying to me. I'm like, do you know what? That would have been interesting if, like, he believed it and then, like, it's slowly revealed that, like, maybe, why you're not telling me something? It's like, oh, yeah, I don't think he's telling us the full truth. It's like, okay, what? But no, they just, as much as they bring that up, they just take it down just as quickly. So it's like, I'm back because I'm evil. So yeah. So yeah, this is a good sort of film. It is worth watching. It is entertaining. So yeah, go and watch it. Go and watch it. So I hope you enjoyed and good night.
Okay, then let's get into this. Okay, then go on to here. You can see my face now, and obviously I'm fine now, so luckily I'm not going to be going up and down like an idiot.
Son of a... Watch your language. Fun. You're close. Frick. Don't test me. Shoot, dang it. Oh my god. Ass.
What's the matter? Scared of beans? Space boy?
Ah, Dr. Song, your table is ready.
Fleming. How are the twins?
Still digesting their mother, thank you for asking.
Oh, I'm sure it was a lovely ceremony.
Oh, there were tears. And just a hint of screaming.
Fleming, I wonder, could you deadlock seal the baggage hold for me?
It's a little irregular. The other passengers might want access.
Do you remember that time I was transporting dragon eggs?
Consider it done. Is the gentleman here for dinner?
Yes, he is.
Excellent. I'll have the chef prepare him immediately.
No, you won't.
He will in fact be joining me to eat.
I was about to suggest that force feeding might be required. This way.
The best way to wake me up in the morning is to never fucking do it in the first place. Oh, yeah.
I put something down and I'm like, okay, where did I put it again? Again, I'm a me. Also, realistically, I will go off for a bit and then come back on like a couple seconds later just so I can redo this. I know that's stupid and it disproves this whole point of doing any of it. Also, technically, if something like this happens again, I also have Custom Night, which I have never played. And I will be terrified. That could be one of the games that, like, after maybe I complete one of these two, like, I go into open. Okay, that was too bad. My question is, even if I'd like kill everyone besides Greenland, every single country survives besides Greenland, the problem is, how is it likely that humanity will continue existing? Because you have people's consciousness and people's like prides going on. And I'm not going to say that I'm the most humblest person and I have no ego. But legitimately, debatably, if you have a lot of people who are like the last people on Earth, you have a lack of biodiversity, meaning you could get problems with that. So is there like a case to say that the world is basically dead anyway?
So yeah. What is the most important thing that you need to do in every anime? Training! For the training arc! Also, I know if it's a full name, I'm just gonna call it Demon Slayer. Because this is, I think, the name of the specific arc, but Demon Slayer. So yeah. I like this. Because I like the idea that, like, you had, which the last one was, if I'm correct, him getting the sword. Obviously, if you spoilers for this, it's not the spoilers. Anyway, so the sort of story is the thing where they sort of like, they had a big event, so they're doing training, which I like. I like the idea of like, okay, this is the final moment. Let's actually get ready, and having an arc to like get ready because we know they're about to go down, and them being like, okay, we need to actually think about what we're doing. We need to focus. We need to like get our heads in the game and like actually pay attention to what is actually happening right now. I like that. I absolutely love that. That idea of like heads down, focus. And like how each one of them trains them differently is really good, and some of the stuff that you learn is also really good. The one thing, and again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that I find the most impressive is at the end, the leader of the entire Demon Slayer group was like, here's my family, my amazing loving family, me, my 2 daughters, my wife. You can see it all. Boom! I'm like that is what the fuck? Like, what? Oh, great. Like, your kids could have had a nice life. Nope, gone, dead. I know the reason. It's like a trap. It's like they all knew the risk. They all understand the risk. They all knew what was going on. And I actually find it interesting. Like, they knew what they had to do. They had no choice. But it's so thing of being like, you would have to think like the children and like just like I think I don't know exactly how old they are, but they look like 10 to 12. They have lived 12 years before dying. That is fucked up. That they had to do that. That is what the fuck. So yeah, that's the one spoiler thing that I'm like, are you kidding me? Also, his backstory. His backstory is, like, really interesting. But, like, I want you to watch that. And, yes, I am spoiling the explosion and not his backstory. But I like the idea of, like, his backstory is, like, really interesting. And learning about it is just fun. Because you see why he has the nature that he does. And it's really messed up. So, yeah, this is really good. And really 100% worth watching. So I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
Do you know what? The fact that the frame is slowing is actually making it really easy. Oh, hello. Countries are going down. Wait.
joins the madness.
Yay! We have another one! Woo! Yeah, we'll make some TikToks if you want to chat. Hey.
Aren't you lactose intolerant? This isn't lactose, it's milk.
You're a fucking idiot.
How can you be ringing? What's that about, ringing? What am I supposed to do with a ringing phone?
Don't answer it. It's not for you.
And how do you know that?
Because I do.
It's not even a real phone. It's not connected. It's not... Hello? This is the doctor speaking. How may I help you?
Mummy? Mummy?
Who is this? Who's speaking?
Are you my mummy?
Who is this?
Mummy?
How did you ring here? This isn't a real phone. It's not wired up to anything.
The silence, whatever it is still out there. And I have to, excuse me a moment. Hello? Oh, hello. No, but that's not possible. She was sealed into the seventh obelisk. I was at the prayer meeting. Well, no, I get that it's important. An Egyptian goddess loose on the Orient Express in space. Give us a moment. Sorry, something's come up. This will have to be goodbye.
Yeah, I think it's goodbye. Do you think it's goodbye?
Definitely goodbye.
Goodbye!
Don't worry about a thing, Your Majesty. We're on our way.
Derek, have you ever thought about what you wanted to do when you grow up? Yeah, I have. What do you want to do? Say the B word. Okay, I mean
And
as
the
a
F word.
Okay, I know.
And the D word.
Okay, but as a career.
I'm itching to say the D
Okay,
word.
but like for a job, what do you want to do?
Oh, probably be a janitor.
Really? Why a janitor?
Think of all the possibilities there are for me to say the F word.
Really? You would get a job
Oh my gosh,
just
I'll
so
probably get to say it so many times.
You know, you could probably.
Derek, can you clean the bathrooms?
I get it, but
There's
I'm saying
an F word.
Okay, but I think
Derek,
you
some
should.
kid spilled his milk.
Oh my goodness.
There's an F word.
Will you listen to me?
Do you have a clogged
Why
toilet?
can't you just?
Well, I have an F word.
Derek, listen.
AC's not working.
Listen to me.
F word.
Just
in my
Hold
interview,
on.
they'll be like, "What can you do for our company?" I'll be like, "I can't tell you what I'm gonna do, but I can tell you what I'm gonna say." And that's the gosh damn F word.
You do a full sentence with/without cursing through the whole sentence. Yes, I think I will be able to do that. Yeah! Fucking nailed it! Damn it!
If you press that button, you will receive $1 million, but someone that you don't know will die. If I press it more than once, do I get more money? Well, yes, but then more people...
Time to cause some mischief in this. And let's do it now. So yeah. This is interesting because I find the first one, all of this is, also, this is longer than the first season, which I find is a bit interesting. It's like, why? But anyway, I do like some of the stuff, and finding out about one thing is a bit interesting later. But I do like bringing in this sort of like, they bring in the another group, because in season 1 you have the humans and you have the demons, and this season they sort of delve within the sort of like gods, which makes sense because of demons, gods, etc, etc, etc. That makes sense. But it's really interesting how they bring them up with that sort of like type of nature, like this, do this, do that. Not like literally play and then do this. It's literally like positioning titles, roles type stuff. So I like that. I find that really interesting. I find that is the one thing that I find interesting. Yeah, this is simple because yeah, it's just fun. And I just like that specific concept. And one more, which is going to be revealed now. So yeah, the one other thing that I do like about this is the idea that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you learn more about his past, and it may be his true father, who is the worst. But I like that slow reveal of like, what is really going on? And like, so it is somewhat like interesting. And there's a bit of a twist of like, oh, was a bit of a part of information, which is basically her supposedly being there, but like, well, no, you didn't have a sister. It's like, okay. But it is interesting whereas you slowly reveal his true father, which is really interesting in my opinion. And I really do like it. So yeah, I absolutely 100% think this is really amazing. So yeah, this is really fun and entertaining to watch. Definitely would recommend if you want to. I hope you enjoyed and good night.
Are you joking me?
Excuse me, where are you from, sir?
You don't need to know.
But you're not on the roster. We like to keep track of all the mobs that come through.
You do not need to know.
Well, I'm sorry, but I do. Just your name will be fine.
Walk away or you will die.
If you're a mob, what kind?
People call me Herobrine.
Oh my god! Everybody run!
The itsy bitsy paycheck went in my bank account. Then came my bills and cleaned the fucker out.
Okay, I don't think I made it a bit clear, but it's not the fact that I didn't understand what was going on. It was more while I was watching it, figuring out, because I don't know, more specifically with the father of the main character, and I do get why, I'll talk about that one and the other one, but the reason why I'm like, it was more the fact that, like, the father character seems like I don't fully trust him. And what he's saying, there is some truth. We do see that he is his father. The backstory I know is true. But the reason I'm like, what is really going on is, what is his true motivations? It seems like he's a bit mysterious. So that's the thing that I'm like, I don't trust this character. So that's what I meant. There probably is some episode that explains. So I do agree with this, that sometimes when you watch certain animes, like sometimes there's certain animes that like the fighting is important and like that sort of like, oh, who will win, who will lose, that's important. But sometimes I'm fine with having the fights just take a backseat. Because I do agree with this series, I do like, especially during season 1. Because as you slowly reveal, like, something's off. The history has changed. And slowly figuring out, wait, how? Why? And throughout season 2, you get new mysteries of like, oh, who's this person? What's happening to this character? And I do agree, those mysteries are really useful. And I do like them. I'm fine with like overlooking the fights. Because the fights are simple. Because the mystery takes over and it's well worth it. Because
to pay for your... What are you doing?
Got bored. Fuck you. I'm leaving.
But you're not supposed...
Fuck your shit and fuck hell. I'm Suction Cup Man.
You can't just leave. You died.
Death can suck my ass. You can't kill me.
But you died.
But I'll get out.
Still died.
Fiddly-doo. Fiddly-duck. I wake up Monday morning and think, oh, fuck.
I think I made a terrible decision. Oh no, he's here. What do I do? So, the reason why I'm watching this is very simple. And that is because the sequel is coming out. And that actually looks interesting. And I've always heard about Beetlejuice. I've heard about its legacy. And obviously, I've listened to materials from Beetlejuice. I know Nostalgia Critic has done a remix of it for Halloween one time, which I really liked. He did it like the Halloween, there's a thing where it goes in and Nostalgia Critic did a copy, and I actually saw that. I've seen that, which looks really cool. I've seen some of the TV shows. I've seen some of the play, which is basically treat, stay in your seat. I do it like 8 times a week, just relaxing at night. Don't mind, yeah. Welcome to the story about death. I like that. I also like the Papa Show, which I've done on TikTok as a sound thing, as a sound like, like, and they just chucked it, which I still have the version that I just full chucked across the room. That's funny. But I do know about it. And I do listen to 2 songs, which isn't from this, but from the musical, which isn't counted to this. But I would want to point about it so I can set up what I do know and what I don't know. So I know about some, like, I haven't listened to the full bit, but I have sort of listened to the beginning song, like, that sort of, like, some beats. Like, I do know, like, drink your welcome to the story about death. And then there's a bit on the ukulele. I think it's the ukulele because it sounds like a din din din. I don't know why it's not a guitar, but I know it's a string instrument. And it knows one of the ones where you use like one of those like violin things. That's besides the point. Alongside 2 songs of that I listen a lot of the time and seen on Magic Ball, which is Say My Name and What I Know Now, which I absolutely love and listen to way too many times. But what I know of this, I know that it was by... Why am I bad with names? Tim Burton, who does this dark macabre. So I knew it was dark macabre. I knew it had this dark motif. And I know it had this creepy nature. And I think the only other thing that I've seen before is I didn't know their names, but I did know the faces of, like, when I started watching, like, oh yeah, these are the leads. Back in the time. Which, sorry, but spoilers, accidental. But, like, yeah, I knew the general premise. I knew the basic idea. I knew, like, this guy, this guy, this guy. I knew Beetlejuice was going to be in it. I knew who he looked like, etc., etc. And I knew, at least at the very image, there was, like, a sort of person who was one of the people who came into the house after a certain point was someone who was like goth, but I forgot everything else. Well, I was like, oh yeah, somewhat. Who are you? Oh yeah, you're back out. Got it. So I knew a bit about it. Not too much, not too less. But because the sequel's coming out, which I love, it's called Beetlejuice. And I'm just gonna like, because the whole thing is you now need the same name 3 times, I'd love if they made a 3rd one, and it's Beetlejuice. And I would not blame them, and I would absolutely be like, this is a genius story. I wouldn't blame them, because that's insane. It's an amazing idea that they took advantage of that. But I love it, I'm interested. The one thing I'm gonna say is some of the effects, because like I know this film was I think made in like the 90s or the early 80s. I'm pretty sure the 90s. I'm not 100% sure. Don't sue me on that. And some of the effects for some of them. This is not spoilers. This is just one person. So I'm just gonna give a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 about one character who's not gonna have much story relevant. Kind of. One of the characters is flattened. Like he's been run over, which one is super macabre and super dark. But I looked at him like, that looks realistic. I'm like, how? Like realistically, I think what they probably have done is that the outside, the face is probably stuck in there, and like some stuff around the face, like the ears, are probably like prosthetics on. And then he probably is like being like, because it looks like he's being like dragged. So he could just be like on a stand and then they're having a thing behind it. He's like sort of here, and then you have below the face, you have somewhat of a like prop like body that just moves left because they do have a focus. There's one shot with him in the center of the frame and then one shot with him moving left to right. So I wouldn't be surprised that there's like below camera, there's like a bit of like wood that can be slided to the left. I can't quote that exact method because I don't know. And I would love to know. If you know how they did that, I would love to know. I also love some of the stop motion. I can somewhat see it, but I'm fine with it. It looks creepy. It does its job of looking up. Like, there's things with, like, the sculptures come to life. And, like, well, I know it's claymation. Besides the point, still terrifying as... because all of it moves. Again, this film... because, like, I heard about it so much, I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to watch the sequel. I am going to watch sequels. Because so many people were like, this is interesting, it's an amazing story, and, like, hyping up the sequels. But I'm like, Joe, I am going to watch the sequel because I don't want it to sound like there might be some specific details in the first one that I don't know about. Like, there's apparently a way to exercise ghosts and a dead place for dead people, which I love. And it's hilarious. So yeah, that exists. So I'm not going to cut that out. But yeah, there's a place for the dead. I'm going to go with a bit more spoilers. But there's a place for the dead where they die. You have a woman who has a sort of injury in her throat. I'm not going to mention what because I think some people are going to be like, oh, that smoke comes out when she... And the way that they end it and do all this sort of stuff with... Also, I love the callback because at the beginning it's like, here's a... now you're dead, here's your dead handbook. It's like, wow, this sounds like White and Water Noise, and you get the empty... Living with the Dead. Wow, this sounds like White and Water Noise, and I just love the fact that I know it's not that exact quote, but they both say that line reading similar books. I'm like, this is so... I also like some of the, like... I just did this because I realised I'm spoiling myself and others, and I'm a idiot. Anyway, it's really good. And some of the effects and some of the small detail is really interesting. Also, I don't know how accurate the musical is at all. That I would like to know. That I'm interested with. That I'm interested in. Should I watch the musical? I'm going to put a poll here. I don't usually put a poll. Should I watch Beetlejuice the musical? I don't know how to. Actually, no, probably not, because I don't think it's continued. But it is really good. If it's not continued, and I find out after recording this, there's not going to be a poll here. Ignore that. If it is, there will be. Anyway. I just think it's absolutely interesting. So I am 100% excited for the sequels! So yeah. It is just so good. I'm just ranting. The last thing I'm going to point out. Beetlejuice's acting, I just love. Because he looks like a con man that's like... Yep. On one hand, I don't trust you. On the other hand, you sound somewhat convincing. You somewhat know what you're talking about, and I somewhat agree with that idea. And I'm like, it's so interesting. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I 100 recommend. Because, yes, I've been talking for nearly 10 minutes. It's like 9 minutes by this point. And I even messed up the spoilers thing because I didn't want to re-record it. But yeah, 100% recommend to watch this. It is brilliant. It is amazing. And if you want to watch Beetlejuice, which is the sequel to Beetlejuice, also his name isn't spelled Beetlejuice, it's spelled he is called Beetlejuice, but not technically the way that you spell Beetlejuice, which is funny. No, it should be funny in my opinion. Definitely 100% watch it. It's really good. Really amazing. And yeah, I don't know how more to say, just watch it. So yeah, having all of that being said and done, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm just gonna... And lastly, good night.
Yay, I can have this sort of page. I can have, here's the 2 games I'm currently playing.
You laugh, you lose. Let's go. Okay, I was not expecting that. Oh my god, that dog is strong. I'm going to hell.
What you doing? What you doing, running?
Oh my god, I'm definitely going to fucking hell.
Mad. Again, I love Rising Impact. Rising Impact's so good. You should watch Rising Impact. And that's not because I know about golf. That's the only aspect of sport that I sort of like, oh, what am I meant to be doing?
Entitletellite joins the madness.
So sorry I didn't react to that before, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for following me.
What time is it? It's time for Mr. Midnight. Even though technically it's like 7:45. So I re-recorded this because I accidentally a spoiler from the first episode. But not again. Anyway, so 1. I like, first of all, because it's a non-spoiler, I like the general theme. I knew about Mr. Midnight because all I heard, and I'm going to talk about the main details later. I know episode 1 isn't really a spoiler, but I'm just going to keep that to myself. Because if you're like me and you didn't notice that, don't mind. Actually, is that a spoiler? Yeah, I don't think it's a spoiler. I don't know why I re-recorded. But anyway, I'm just gonna say it anyway. So I watched it. I found it was really cool. Thought it was similar to like a Goosebumps, where it's like you have these one-off episodes, but more like the more recent Goosebumps, where you do have those individual stories, but they're still an overarching story. So sort of like taking both stories of episodic and serialized, where there is a serial story throughout, but we're going to deal with episodic sort of like ghosts, as it were. Also, if I'm correct, it actually is in the trailers, where they create this Mr. Midnight character, where I thought, they didn't. Oopsie! I'm an idiot. Anyway, that was because of recording and I'm stupid. Anyway. I do like this. This mystery, this figuring out what this is, I absolutely love. The other thing, and this is slightly spoiler with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One of the things I do like is that you have this big businessman destroying the old-fashioned, traditional, like, religious things, the cinema, I think the hotel, and I think another one was like a shrine, and I think another one was a cemetery. And you usually have them being like, yes, I'm doing this because I need to cut budget. And you do get this. But on the other hand, the one thing I love about it is to be completely respectful. He's a moron. He got tricked by another third party. And he would, like, you have this, like, evil presence coming and coming. And you think it's him because evil businessman, and that's a fair assumption. But no, it's actually he was tricked. He has something to do with this because he is deliberately messing up with a lot of this. But like I said, you had to be incredibly stupid to do this. I love it. We need more of that. I know it's in Glass Onion, and Glass Onion has a similar idea where it's like, Miles Braun is an idiot. I don't know why I did an accent for that. But I do like the fact that the idea is like, yeah, he's not, he has something to do with it, he's destroyed the buildings, but besides that, he's an idiot. Besides that, nothing, which is just funny. So yeah, it's really good. The mystery, figuring out, putting all the pieces together until you finally get a solution. Also, it does get really dark. Not in the way that like my previous video did, where it's like dark jokes, but more the fact that some of the characters do get scarred. And it's like fair. But it is dark. But it is really, as a horror TV show, it is really worth the watch. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and good night.
Okay. Through all your battles and all my rhymes, you have failed and perished 543 times. Also, I think maybe they're not counting retries because that is seemingly low. Anyway. Okay. Oh, I can't actually do it. That's fun. I just tutorialed myself, which is annoying. Okay, this is a regular video. Which is weird because sometimes it's not confusing. I'm like, what's counting as a short and what doesn't? Because sometimes you get like dumb versus double barrel and versus under and there, and then it'd be like short, and then sometimes it doesn't.
Oh shit! So I know it's not Halloween yet, but let's look about some curses in this place. So yeah, because of Bridge Hollow. I like it. Because on one hand, you get like some really like funny moments that's just comedy. And like, I like that. Sometimes you have just a fun comedy just being like a fun comedy. And I'm like, this is fun. There's a lot of like good jokes in it. But it is intense. There are other moments of like actual like intensity. So I do like that. But I do like the fact that they could do both. Like, the neighbor and his interaction is generally just hilarious in certain moments. And how the ability works isn't created because I think, like, other movies, I don't know which one came out first, but I feel like some other movies have also done the similar ability of, like, bringing to life, like, statues or, like, figurines of, like, Halloween stuff. I feel like there was one of, like, I don't know which one came out first, so I'm not going to be like, which one came out first. There was one with Scrappy, not Scrappy, the puppet from Goosebumps. Goosebumps 2. But I do like all of that as an idea. It's really fun, really ingenious, and just really creative. But yeah. That I do like. I like that sort of idea. And the other one I'm just going to mention, the other thing I like is that one of the main things is sometimes things are scary. You don't understand right, but you have things like phobias and things like that. Like, legitimately, and I am going to bring this up because this is something to do with this. I still go in it. I still go in planes. But every single time I feel... And before I say anything, this is stupid. I know for statistics, it proves me wrong in any scientific way. If I was thinking scientifically, analytically, by all the data, my evidence is wrong. What I'm thinking isn't correct and isn't scientific. But every time I go on a plane, I feel like I'm going to crash. I don't know why, but I feel like I do. And if you look at statistics, plane crashes aren't high. And it's going down sometimes. So nowadays it's less likely that it is, but I still have that. So I like the idea that sometimes thinking about fears scientifically, because sometimes it works. Sometimes if you put procedures in place, you can make yourself feel safer by knowing certain things will happen. if you, and I don't mean like society and all of this stuff, but if you see something scary out in there, you can be like, okay, this means this, and that means this, and that's why this happened. So I know that this isn't going to mean what it does because of this. And I do like that, but sometimes fear doesn't work on science. Fear is an emotion, meaning it's sometimes irrational. That's why you have irrational phobias, irrational fears, because sometimes fear is irrational. Obviously, this is working with the idea that curses exist, so it does have that. But I also like taking the idea of like, fears can't always be scienced out of being scary. Sometimes they're just scary. And I like that. I really do. But yeah, there's also the colour thing. I just took that note from it. I don't know if that was intentional or unintentional, and I am going to take it anyway because I like it. So yeah. So I absolutely love this. The acting's amazing, the character's amazing, and the effects I just love. Definitely during one of the segments where they have like these sort of like skeleton like American football. I don't know what you call them. Those like shoulder pads that you see in American football. Like players, they have those, and I'm like, that design. I'm like, because I don't know how they pulled it off, and it looks actually really good. Also, the other one that I would like to mention before I end is one of the things that I like is there's two moments of science. One was cut off because you have this moment of like, what happens if you do this and this? Because the creatures, they are like plastic spiders, so they sort of use a sort of an acidic substance. But the one thing I love, which kind of goes in my face of fears can't be science, but better. The other thing that I like is during one of the scenes, it's oh, do you know what the original name for chainsaw was? And I knew this because I've heard it before. It was a bone cutter, and then he goes up to these fake, because obviously I don't think they showed the other ones, because you wouldn't need to worry specifically about acidity if they were real spiders, because step and then they go squish. But I like the idea of that, like, ooh, that's clever. Also, I just love that fun fact. I don't know why. It's really weird, but I like it. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
I'm going to because when I was editing it, because more than I usually am. Maybe edited it better, but sure, people. Yeah, why not?
So yeah, this makes me excited about season 3. Obviously, I don't mind spoilers, but because it's this and because you've hyped it up, I would prefer not to be spoiled. This is just a simple message of, one, this makes season 3 seem really excited. And two, if you don't mind, could you please not spoil? Thank you. That's it.
How to make a man happy? Just gonna pick up a rock?
A rock? Wait, a rock?
Oh my god, oh, this ought to be good.
Remember, anxiety is like when video game combat music is playing, but you can't find any enemies. Until we meet again!
Want to know how you can get loads of views on TikTok? Well, come here. All you have to do is pay exorbitant amounts of money to a company that already makes billions every fucking year. See that down there? That down there? That's right, this is an ad. I'm paying for this shit through TikTok Promote. It's the saddest shit I've ever done, but guess what? That's what the world's come to. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
So that's why that toaster tried to marry me.
He did? I'm sure you two will be very happy.
Thank you.
Let's see what I get. 7. 3. 9. 8. 4. 6. 5. There's 1, 2, and 10. Joe, this is bad, but 10. He's not 1 or 2. 2. Oh yeah, 1. But yeah, that's the list overall. Also, my favorite character isn't here. It was in number 1 before it glitched twice. You guess who it is, and I'm gonna make a TikTok video on who guessed correctly. Here's my thing. 1, if it's just I just randomly turn invisible, realistically, I would just be like, I would like call my employees, still go to work, and just record, give like one of my employees who's there, or like one who can connect me to their WhatsApp, and be like, I have a problem, I'm invisible. Yes, I'm dedicated to my work. And 2, if it was deliberate, like I can choose what day, I would make the best ghost house, because like I could just be like, ooh. Halloween would just be the best. Invite people in and be like, hello, I'm behind you, and do that for horror. That would just be the best. I'm invisible. So yeah, those would be my.
If you touch that again, I shall kill you right now. Okay. Do not touch this. This is a no touching zone. Good. Well then. Oh my God! I can't believe you reached across like that again. I can't even believe it. Honestly. Oh God, I want to kill you right. If you. Okay, to this. Simple. There is no point. I like the sound. I'm around it. Sometimes I just pick sounds that just sound nice, and that's it.
Hey! What do you want? You do realize we're never going to blow up on this app. Yeah, I know that. So why are we doing this? For that one person right there.
What if I told you you had but 10 minutes to live before I give you $1 million? Should I have started with that? We should probably live.
So you mean to tell me when a baby crawls across the floor to get a bottle, it's cute? But when I do it, I need a fucking intervention?
Remember, a lot of people inadvertently end up using goldfish to teach their kids about dying. Until we meet again!
Okay. I think that's... Okay. Before I do that, I'm just gonna...
So yeah, this is going to be a bit complicated, but yeah, let's do this. So yeah, first, don't need that. I don't know why I did in the first one, but anyway, let's get rid of how I got into the show, because I did like the show. Season 1, I loved, and I liked it despite the fact that it was a school sort of event. Also, why is it so bright? I always need to check on that. Don't know why I don't. Anyway, one thing that I like originally is that I was given some work, technical theatre, that we needed to do something for some school project for some dark theatre. And how we used, for an example, was the stuff that they were showing in Season 1 of The Umbrella Academy. And then you get this. Actually, I think I told... Anyway, I thought I didn't do this. Anyway, error slice. I watched this, and I liked season 1. I was okay with season 2, and I liked season 3. I was like, I like this. It's fine. And then season 4 came. There are some good bits. The action, the fighting scene in, like, there's one scene in a city with a bit of action. That is cool. But how it ends, which I'm going to go to now, how it ends is one of those things where it's like, and then we sacrifice myself and we go back to the beginning. And yes, there's probably something I don't know if it's similar in the comics. I can't claim as such because everyone who read the comics is still annoyed with the ending as much as they are with me. So I don't know if it's just if they did a similar thing in the comics and they did it better, and I wouldn't be surprised. But the one thing I don't like is it like the strategy is getting rid of the characters, getting rid of the fun part of the world, and just going back to, like, legitimately, I could end this with, and if you didn't know, this was what happened in an alternate reality where Marigold was invented. This was all happening in reality, and no one remembered him. It's not good. It's dull. I don't like the idea of, like, and then we sacrifice ourselves to... I don't mind sacrifice stories, but the fact that, 1, the characters were boring, and 2, by this point, I'm like, okay, and then this, and then this, and there were so many questions, and legitimately, I was still like, why should I care? I know I'm a voice of many because a lot of people have been complaining, ow, I hit my light, but this is bad, but, you know. So, yeah, just pretend this doesn't exist. Watch 1 to 3. 1 to 3, good. Pretend this doesn't exist. Just don't. Just like, this season doesn't exist. Pretend I'm, this doesn't exist. But yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
30 degrees in Spain feels like 30 degrees. 30 degrees in Italy feels like 30 degrees. 30 degrees in Greece feels like 30 degrees, but 30 degrees in the United Kingdom feels like I'm being fucked sideways by the Human Torch and finished off with a bit of oral by a fire-breathing fucking dragon. I've been outside 30 seconds and I'm melting like Simon Cowell's fucking face.
Okay.
The metal's just battle armor. The real Dalek creature's inside.
What does it look like?
A nightmare. It's a mutation. The Dalek race was genetically engineered. Every single emotion was removed except hate.
Genetically engineered? By whom?
By a genius, Van Statten. By a man who was king of his own little world. You'd like him.
It's been on Earth for over 50 years. Sold at private auction, moving from one collection to another. Why would it be a threat now?
Because I'm here. How did it get to Earth? Does anyone know?
The records say it came from the sky like a meteorite.
Must have fallen through time. The only survivor.
You talked about a war?
The Time War. The final battle between my people and the Dalek race.
But you survived too.
Not by choice.
This means the Dalek isn't the only alien on Earth, Doctor. There's you. The only one of your kind in existence.
Remember, a lot of people inadvertently end up using goldfish to teach their kids about dying. Until we meet again! Remember, if a toy Deadpool appeared in a Toy Story movie, he would be aware that he's a toy in a Toy Story movie. Until we meet again!
The color of this pen is... The color of this pen is... The color of the pen that I hold in my hand is royal blue.
Did you know that you can't smile and say the word yellow at the same time? Try it. Okay, if I made you smile, like the video.
So yeah, Taskmaster New Zealand Season 1. There's going to be 3 of these, and I haven't finished Season 3. But in like, I think, with a couple other stuff, I think the other one's coming soon, but anyway. This is still pretty good. It's still pretty funny. It's still pretty good. You get a bunch of comedians doing like random stuff. And like, so it is funny that I do have to admit, this is not as good as Greg Davis. Because Greg Davis has this sort of energy to him, which I don't think he does. I still like it. I like this one, but it's not like Greg Davis. Greg Davis is sarcastic and sort of that sort of way. This is more like a, I will stare you down coldly with my dead eyes. And I do like it, but it is a bit different. But yeah, it's still fun. Definitely 100% watch it.
Joe, I'm fine with that because I don't think I beat it, but at least got better timing. If I did 102 minutes, I did. Yeah, anyway. 10 seconds. But I did better. I need to get 10 seconds less. I'm gonna just focus on the. Let's see if that helps. Officially, that's 1. That's why I don't get it. Keeps cutting and then coming back. That doesn't help. So we're gonna get the shorter one. So it's annoying. Annoying is not gonna help my situation.
How does nobody bring up the time that Toph obliterated these guards' perception of reality? As far as these guys know, metal bending does not exist. Then one day this little girl busts their door down, falls face first onto it, and then becomes the goddamn door. In 2 seconds flat, Toph puts the absolute fear of God into these 3 guards.
Shit, what the fuck am I supposed to tell Stolas?
Well, he seems to like you, sir. Maybe he would understand.
Okay, my dick is good, but it is not that good, Moxie.
Sir, I don't think we really have a choice.
So what, you want me to just call him up and be like, hey, Stolas, so your daughter came by, took your book, and teleported off to who the fuck knows where, and we have no way of getting either of them back, okay? Okay, good talk, bye. Wow, that actually went better than I thought.
And finally tonight... There. Now it's in your head, too.
We're sorry. The person you are trying to reach is too tired to deal with your bullshit. Please try again later. Service error FU.
Why do you like me anyway?
'Cause I find you attractive.
Raise your standard!
There's a tiny detail from Megamind that I seriously doubt you've ever noticed. So remember at the very end of the movie where Megamind finds out that Metro Man is not actually dead? So Metro Man explains that he faked his death mostly just because he's bored. Then he shows us that he used his super speed. And one of the places he visits while using his super speed is the other observatory where Megamind is. And this whole flashback of him using his super speed actually takes place during a scene that we already saw in the movie. So here's the scene from earlier in the movie where they're talking. He looks really bored, and for just a slight second you see him disappear. It's just 1 or 2 frames, but he also appears behind Megamind. Look really closely. Now let's go back to the scene of him explaining how bored he was. Here's him leaving in super speed, and in just a second, you see him behind Megamind. See how he's on the left side of Megamind in this clip? Still on the left side of Megamind. And with his super speed, he did all that in like 1/10 of a second.
No. I'm trying to see if I can speed this. Okay, this I actually need the normal way.
Hi. If you're receiving this message, then I would like to inform you that you will now be offered to the blood god. Blood for the blood god, 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 blood for the blood god.
I will never, ever, ever get my shit together.
I don't know if I need chicken nuggies, therapy, or a hug. But I know what I can afford. And what's available. Nuggies it is!
I believe that there's a person out there for everyone, but for most of you, that person's a therapist.
Okay, then I do wait a couple points to get double that.
So I stole all of this money from the rich to give to you guys because you guys are poor. So you guys take it and just live a good life. Robert, thank you so much. I can feed my family. It's okay, guys.
We're
it's
rich.
okay.
We're rich, guys.
What did you just say?
Okay, I need to focus. So yeah, this I like. Because the way that I found it was there's this YouTube channel that takes professional people like people who make sure there's no cheater in it, or people who can do magic like take watches off and all that stuff without you noticing. And he reacted to some scenes in this, and I was like, okay. And when someone's like, oh yeah, it's on Netflix, I was like, should I check it out? So I did. It's really good. It's really interesting. And it's really, like, nice. And I love the idea with some of the tricks where it's like, whoosh, and it's gone forever. And I like it. It's like, how? And it's really, really fun. Figuring out, like, oh, how was he able to do this, do that? And seeing all, like, I've heard that there was someone consulting on like, oh, here's all the stuff, here's how all of it works, which I like. It's really cool. But yeah, that's fun, and that's really exciting. But yeah, I also like the story with the characters. I love that I keep focusing on how they do the things, but I do like it. The one thing I like is that you have this moment at the beginning of like, oh, here's how you do it. And then the next bit, you focus, because you have sort of two main leads. You have one that you focus on near the beginning. And as you sort of build up, you deal with this from one person's perspective for the rest, I think. I don't know, maybe I'm being weird. But I like the fact that it's sort of like seemingly focused on one and then focus on the other, which I think is really interesting for a film about changing focus. So yeah, one of the other things that I like is that during the beginning, 4, 3, 2, 1, they show this move of like, oh yeah, there was one person who does this trick where like they shoot at just to like, oh, I'm on your side, and they do this sort of thing, and then they actually show that off, which is insane and so interesting. So yeah, that is one of the cleverest things of like foreshadowing to like, without even noticing like, oh, this is a callback to like things that we said earlier. So I absolutely love it. Again, this is really good, really exciting, and 100% worth to watch. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
I need to get fixed skull, that's the next plan. Okay, I need to learn how to switch weapons. What? Becca. Man.
By the way, serious question for Americans. Why do you call them herbs? Why is there a silent H there? What, do you live in an house?
So yeah, usually I have a nice fun intro. But yeah. So yeah. World's Worst X. I watched this and this gives me more of a reason not to date people. It is so horrible how people like do what they do. It is up. And the amount of stuff that they like did is horrifying. If you want to watch it, they show it with the sort of animations in moments to recreate the moments in the past, which I think is like interesting. Sometimes you usually like either have just a still drawing, or you do what some shows did, which is basically get the people before or get other actors and recreate it that way. So yeah, this is really messed up. The only sort of spoiler, which I didn't realize as much, is that each episode is different. I know that's sort of obvious, but I thought it was... I don't know why. For some reason I thought it was all one person and each one of the stories is an interaction that he had with some... Again, I'm just stupid. That would be extremely bad. But I overthought about that. But yeah, each episode contains their own sort of like events that take place over a period of times that show how that person would count as one of the world's worst X ever. So yeah. So yeah, it is a dark series, but it does shine a light on some things that can happen to people and how they can take advantage of some people. So it is worth a watch in my opinion. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed and good night.
What do we say when we get to work? I want to go home. No, we say hello to our coworkers, and then what do? We say goodbye. Why? Because I want to go home. No, then we do what we're getting paid to do, and then what? We go home. Oh my god.
Inoculations. You've didn't it.
Duet this, and stop the video when I mention you. Good night to everyone except people with Lemon Demon on their playlist. Tally Hall, anyone who listens to Will Wood and the Tapeworms. That's right, Miracle Musical, Mother Mother, Mitski. What about you Ghost and Pals listeners?
So now, I pray to the gods. What will this video be? So yeah, I love this because one, it gives a very fun look at the gods because it somewhat is modern. I don't know if it's modern because some stuff that doesn't exist. I don't know this photos exist. I don't know, but I don't know that's because the gods didn't want like free information and that could have been problematic. Because gods exist, cars exist, buildings exist with bricks. So I like that idea. It's a fun look at like the sort of like gods, and it's really interesting. I don't know why. It's really exciting of like this hypothetical idea that is like, ooh, interesting. So yeah, it's like really interesting and I really like it. Definitely with them having the names, even mentioning certain people. I also like the idea that you have a narrator that is a character. So it was somebody being like, yeah. He never knew I tricked him. So just basically cutting after the conversation and talking to us, which is so interesting and so fun. I'm not gonna say who it is until later. I don't think about actually. I'm not gonna say that, but he is a character who I absolutely love. The idea of like conversation with an actual person, conversation with the audience, conversation with an actual person, conversation with the audience, which is absolutely fun. The other thing I like is how it ends and how I'm interested of where it goes next, because all the series has prophecies. It is a prophecy show, and we already know one prophecy has come true. One of the prophecies was like, the leader of the country, the first to take air will be the one to slay you. And it did happen. So my question is, will it happen again? Because there's a whole thing about the prophecy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Also, I don't know why I didn't do that before the last one, but there's a whole thing about, you know, the gods falling. Ooh, that might happen, which is fun. Maybe like season 2, season 3. I don't know. This is so good. I also like how it ends with it like, oh, you're all rationing out because you have this water that makes them immortal. But it's like, oh, you're all rationing out. Oh, I burned your bees. I was like, you are going crazy. And I love that he's doing this like, oh, I'll protect you. This is what I need for power. Everyone's going to betray me. I mean, in reality, this will get them to be like, no, I don't want you. So you're gonna go, which I find insane. But yeah, it's really exciting and absolutely 100% worth watching. Go and watch it. It is fun. It is awesome. Go and watch it. Yeah. So yeah, hope you enjoyed and good night.
Okay, through all your battles and all my rhymes, you have failed and perished 546 times. Also, I'm gonna not do this in here because I can. Also, now I have 7 instead of 8. I will try and get it up again.
Emergency. You're my boyfriend.
Ding dong. Okay, brilliant. I may be a bit rusty in some areas, but I will glance at a manual.
No, you're not actually my boyfriend.
Oh, that was quick.
Next time somebody tells you to be normal, you just tell them, the weird be with you, and then walk away going,
Proof that anything can be a Netflix poster.
And nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong.
Check it out.
That is the most ridiculous hat I've ever seen.
Nice hat.
Hey, that is my best friend, and that hat is awesome.
Things you never hear in a school assembly.
It's your own time you're wasting, so please think twice about choosing media studies as an option.
And so yeah, I was recommended to watch this by someone. So I did. Someone I know. It's not like I'm going to be like showing someone out and they're like, watch this. And it's like, nope. And I'm like, okay. But I watch this. So yeah. I like this. This is good. It's sort of like a sort of crime stuff. And you're trying to figure out, okay, what's actually going on? Who's on what side? What is actually going on? And I like it that you are focusing on 3 separate groups. You're dealing with one of the fathers that had a family member affected by this bombing. I'm trying to use that word as little as possible. You also have this person here who somewhat has some connection to it. I'm not going to say how until later. and then you have, obviously, the police force. And you're having all those three groups sort of do their own thing, trying to figure out how to move forward and how to do all of this and keep going forward. And I like that sort of like, okay, what do we do now? And what do we do now? And what do we do now? And the planning and the working around, and this means this and this means that. I would say I liked it. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not going to be like, yes, this is amazing. It's nice. It's really interesting. As you figure out how everything goes. That's it. It's just good. It's not the best. There's a difference. I'm not going to say this is bad. It's not mediocre. It's not just okay. It is good. For what it is good. But the way that I heard about this before, I've heard people being like, yes, this is really good. This is amazing. And then I didn't feel that sense of amazement. It is great, but not amazing. So yeah. The one thing which I like is later on, because I like how later on when you slowly realize that this person, why is it? Anyway, slowly realize altogether what's going on and how they need to solve it, and each one of the person figures out what really is happening. How it ends, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, with this sort of like discussion and ending with like what's actually going to happen. Because at the end, you even see like this person, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like physically shoot someone, being like, you are going to write down who's a part of this. And that scene near the end, I'm like, jeez, you just shot a man in the leg. The other thing I'm going to add into this section is I know this is based on, in the past, Ireland and England haven't had the best relationship. I do know about a bit of the history, like I know that there was a bombing in a hotel that is still around, and like someone was involved or something like that in Brighton. It's like near the pair. But besides that one incident, I don't know much about it. If you want to know about the history, talk to someone who does. I don't really know anything about it. So yeah, it is good. It is worth watching it. It is definitely worth watching it. I just didn't think it was as amazing as other people said. But again, that's me being like, this is good as a detective series, but I'm more into like going weird and crazy with how reality works. Fantasy stuff. So that's just more me being like, I more prefer surreal than realistic overall. But I still liked it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and good night.
Yeah, that was terrible.
One final time as they rejoiced over the fact that Ben was safe, but also accepted the fact that they knew that it was over for them, and they'd accept that. They knew their lives were so far different to what they once were, and that they almost didn't belong in the timeline that they were in. They always had the same mindset about the season.
Oh, I didn't realize I clicked start. I'm an idiot. I just clicked on the page and I'm like, ah, shoot, I'm live. This is why my brain is scattered. I literally put something down and then it's... I would agree they're mostly the same shows. The only true exception you could say is Family Guy is does a bit more dark, risky humor. And for me personally, I don't mind dark humor. I just don't see the joke. Not the fact that it's like, oh, offensive, or this and that. It's like, you just like ha stereotype. Just it's nothing, which I don't like. I hate that. One, you're just insulting someone, and two, it's just like, here's a stereotype. Okay, and doesn't feel like there should be something else, but there isn't. So yeah, that's why I prefer Simpsons. But then again, I'm not really a Simpsons fan anyway, so it's just two shows I'm not really a fan of anyway.
Spider-Man wasn't attacking the city. He was trying to save it. That's slander.
It is not. I resent that. Slander is spoken. In print, it's libel.
You don't trust anybody. That's your problem.
I trust my barber. What are you, his lawyer? Get out of here. Let him sue me. Get rich like a normal person. That's what made this country.
Jameson, you slime! Who's the photographer who takes the pictures of Spider-Man?
I don't know who he is. His stuff comes in the mail.
You're lying!
I swear.
He's the one who can bring me to him.
I don't know who he is.
You are useless, you.
Set him down, tough guy.
Speak of the devil.
Spider-Man! I knew you two were in this together.
Hey, kiddo, let Mom and Dad talk for a minute, will you?
Okay, this can function as a sonic blaster, a sonic cannon, and a circle and folded sonic disruptor. Doc, what you got?
I've got a sonic, oh, never mind.
What?
It's sonic, okay, let's leave it at that.
Disruptor, cannon, what?
It's sonic, totally sonic. I am sonic to...
A sonic what?
Screwdriver!
Things you never hear in a school assembly.
And best wishes, of course, to Year 7's orienteering team, wherever they may be.
So that's it. You're from the circus. Shh. You're on the run, aren't you?
You want to keep it down? I'm trying to lay low here.
I should turn you in right now.
You wouldn't. Would you?
Give me one reason why I shouldn't.
Because I'm cute? Hey, what kind of crazy chick are you? Do you know what'll happen if he finds me?
It's a cruel world.
I just decided I don't like you.
I just decided I don't care. Now show us how to fly.
With this wing?
Teach us then.
Now.
He's valuable, you say?
Sure.
Get the torch.
Now you listen here, sister. I'm not going back to that life. I'm a lone free ranger. Emphasis on free.
And that's what we want. Freedom.
Well, turns out every once in a while someone amazing comes into your life, so here the fuck I am.
So yeah. Hello, we're doing some Cuphead, but first, I'm just gonna do some transferring. $10 today. Usually would be 5, but you know, yesterday and all that. Also, again, this will be the last technical one of this, so it'll be a bit weird. Sorry about that, but you know, I did explain myself why this is happening in this specific way.
I forgive you. You don't understand. You will never understand.
I don't understand. Are you kidding me? Of course I understand. I mean, to call this a war, this funny little thing.
This is not a war. I fought in a bigger war than you will ever know. I did worse things than you could ever imagine. And when I close my eyes, I hear more screams than anyone could ever be able to count. I know what you do with all that pain. Shall I tell you where you put it? Hold it tight. It burns your heart. And you say this. No one else will ever have to live like this. No one else will ever have to feel this pain. Not on my watch.
You
What the f is this?
The Rizalisa.
The Rizalisa's crazy!
Ah, you screwed up now. What? Oh, come on.
This is a banana.
Mm-hmm.
This is the top. This is the bottom.
Technically, that's actually the opposite, but okay, go ahead.
Already you've pissed me off.
Okay.
I'll ask the questions.
Yeah.
Top, bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you open this thing?
Traditionally.
Where do you open it?
It depends on my mood, honestly. If I'm in the mood for like, I'm reckless, I gotta go quick, I don't care, I open it from the stem.
This thing?
Yes.
Okay.
But I've learned that monkeys open it the opposite way, and there's none of those stringy things that everyone hates in there.
Cool. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You monkey?
Sometimes I also just rip it in half.
You don't open bananas that way.
Yes, I do.
Like what?
There's a banana, I go, all right, cool. and I eat a banana.
2 things.
Very quick.
1, I did not expect that to happen. That was pretty cool. 2, you're a fucking idiot who opens bananas that way.
No, I don't ruin bananas. It's a perfectly good.
But why have 2
Look at
bananas?
that. I have 2 perfectly sized bananas.
That's kind of impressive.
I told you.
But why would you do that?
Hello, it's nice to meet you. Can you tell me where I am? I don't know how I got here, but I think I'm starting to understand. I don't belong among the angels, and maybe that's just fine with me. The things I did up there were high school, but now I'm going for my degree. Hey, sorry, but you just got in my way. I promise, honey, I can feel your pain, and maybe I enjoy it just a little bit. Does that make me insane? Haven't been the same since I expired. Doesn't mean that I plan to retire. And now I have the power to bathe all of you in entertaining fire.
You don't understand. You will never understand.
I don't understand. Are you kidding me? Of course I understand. I mean, to call this a war, this funny little thing? This is not a war. I fought in a bigger war than you will ever know. I did worse things than you could ever imagine. And when I close my eyes, I hear more screams than anyone could ever be able to count. And you know what you do with all that pain? Shall I tell you where you put it? Hold it tight. It burns your heart. And you say this: no one else will ever have to live like this. No one else will ever have to feel this pain. Not on my watch. So time for some wicked little letters, I see. Let's see what is within these notes. So yeah, the one weird thing about this one and the last one was that both of these have a weird sort of connection, which is when they originally came to word being like, oh, we're gonna come out on like cinemas, I was like, oh, maybe I should watch it, maybe I shouldn't. But then I forgot both of them exist, and then slowly but surely they came onto Netflix. I also hold back on watching this for a bit because my original plan was for like months was to maybe watch this with Mum. I've got, I think, deleted now a video being like, what must watch for like months. And I truly mean like a while. I think like by the time of me starting to think about watching like Taskmaster season 17 at that time, it was that long away, which is long. So this has been a long while. I've been putting this off for ages for some me forgetting it and like being like, oh, maybe I should watch it with Mum, and at some point I'm like, I'm watching this. So yeah, so this has been a while. It is really good, and at first I thought it was like, oh, I don't know what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know, but yeah, it's way more interesting than I thought it would be. I don't know why. I really don't. But it's really awesome and amazing. So I absolutely like it and love it. So yeah, I don't know why. I just like the idea of like, you slowly get more and more details about what's going on and what's actually happening. So yeah. The one thing that I would like to mention is the twist, which turns out the person who receives the letters is also sending the letters. I'm like, okay, did not see that coming. The other thing I do also like to see is at the end, if I forgot to one, I forgot to do that. One of the things that happened
is you have this moment like, oh, I'll get you out of this and that and this and that, and like the husband's trying to like manage the situation, like, oh, I'll deal with this. She just basically goes full like, in a moment. It's basically like that, and she like goes from prim and proper to like someone who's outright swearing, which I love and absolutely think is just one of the best moments. It's just like, okay, I did not see this coming, but it's absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I absolutely loved this and thought this was absolutely amazing to watch. So I would 100% recommend it. So I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
Hey, Ricky, bring me the cheese. Did you say cheese? Yeah. Bring me the block of Parmesan. Aren't you watching like a jump rope world record or something? What do you need the Bring me the cheese. Okay, you got it, boss. There you go. Thank you. Seriously though, what do you need the cheese? Oh.
Okay, so let me just try. Also, why am I doing that? I almost did a circle. Like an idiot! It's the other way around. I just realized that. It's the other way around.
It's my curse. Literally. I can't take this off ever.
It's just one serving? And they're charging almost 3,000 yen for it? That's obscene. Who would spend that much money on a coffee jelly? I would. What was I thinking? Not to mention it's only 55 grams. Could the taste of this one really be more satisfying than eating 48 cups of the kind in the 3-pack? I mean, coffee jelly is coffee jelly. One kind can't be that much better than any other. But with that price tag, it's gotta be pretty good. And if it's not, well, considering that I just blew my...
Uh-oh.
What?
Somebody's in love!
Yeah, right. I just think Wendy's cool, okay? It's not like I lay awake at night thinking about her.
I'd like to buy an owl. We don't sell owls. Someone told me you did. Who? I just fucking heard one.
Another person. You're taller! How fucking dare you?
So I already recorded this. Oh, calculator. But what happened was, the sound overtook it because I forgot that these things automatically have sounds when you do green screen as the background. But yeah, I like this. The overall thing I said, it was absolutely amazing, absolutely awesome. And I do prefer the original. He plays this a bit more muted than the regular Taskmaster, than I would prefer. And I kind of like that sarcasm from Greg Davis. There is only one more season left, which I said would be in 2 weeks. I don't know fully, but it is coming. My opinion's on the third. And for now, final? I don't know if there's going to be any more. But I didn't thought there was going to be any more regular Taskmaster, and now there's season 18. So I don't know. But good night.
So my plan is to do the normal thing and then do some other stuff. Da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 da. I just realized something. Got my head. I'll be right back. So carry on doing this.
even though I've watched quite a bit of Ben 10, I haven't really watched Omniverse. I know of a couple of moments where Ben 10 without a watch deflects the watch from the beginning so it hits the original Ben, alongside creating an earthquake to make him go more closer to the watch. I do know that's a thing. I also know one of my favorite moments is that the watch has a self system that it switches between a bunch of aliens before picking on one specifically, and then like, oh, this can save Ben's life. So I do know of those two things, but besides that, I don't really know too much about it, to be completely honest. But I have watched some of it. So yeah. I hope that helps. Sorry I didn't give you an exact episode, but yeah.
I do in fact fuck around and find out. I have in fact learned every lesson the hard way.
I love putting on warm underwear fresh from the dryer. Plus, it's fun to look around the laundromat and guess who they belong to.
Did you know that a whale's anus can stretch up to 40 inches long, making it the second biggest arsehole in the world? Behind you!
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
It appears that I have created a video that may have upset someone. They did not find it funny. And I just wanted to say, from the bottom of my heart, I do not care.
All aboard! Time for the railway to arrive. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, that was terrible, but yeah. So yeah, before I get into talking about this, I have seen this, not this, but the story of Railway Children before, where I essentially watched it at, why do I always blank out on names? London Waterloo. If you go where, the sort of like, where nowadays there's an undersection and there's some toilets, there was at one point, I think, something there, and they had a show, two sides of an actual railway, a sort of play on about the Railway Children, which is fitting. I don't remember much of it besides that, and it looked really cool. And I think the actual train scene was like so intense. Because, yeah. I know it's returned, so I don't know if it's the original or not, or I am confused. Could be both. Anyway, that is just one thing that is there. This is just a fun series, fun movie. Why do I keep saying series? Maybe because I keep switching between movies and series and it keeps going. Anyway, it is really good. The story is really nice, and I absolutely find this really interesting and really interesting. Like, oh, what is this? And like all of that. It is really fun. So yeah, the one thing which I like, which 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A lot of the story has this motif about how they're bringing the American soldiers in, and one of the things that you talk about is during 1940s, race relationships in America wasn't the best. I'm not going to talk about that because 1 and 2, I'm from England. I don't know what was going on and don't know the true history. Do I know there was racial problems? Yes. But anyone can tell you at least that much. What actually happened, how they were suffered. I don't know anyone who does it the best, but go and talk to those people who either went through it, or historians, or even people who are somewhat connected, because they probably know about 10 times better than I do. But again, best to ask an expert, because they will definitely know what happened during that time period. But during the end, I love the fact that it's good. The Railway Children does have a upbeat sort of nature to it, so it's not like negative and sad. But yeah, it is nice that it's like Evan Wynn. But yeah, this is really good. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you, why am I saying this? But anyway, I'm keeping that in anyway, people. Wait, Children, it's really good, it's really entertaining, and I like it. And I don't know if it's the original, I think it was the original. Even to this point now, I thought it was the original. And when I was watching it, because I read Railway Children, it was like, oh yeah, movie version of Railway Children, I forgot to miss the version of Return. So that's not me being like, I forgot it was Return. No, I just always thought it was not Return. I just realised now that it actually is a Return version. I don't know if there's any difference or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
Okay. Let me just check this out. I don't know why I just need to. It's just so weird. So yeah, I just crashed. The footage is gone because I didn't want to keep it. But yeah. We're back.
I swear to God, if I end up murdered in the morning, I'm going to come back and haunt all of you forever.
At least we know why she resisted me. She can haunt people.
She is a powerful sorcerer.
It's sorceress! Get it right!
So yeah, let's bring it back to the very big. It's not, but I just like doing that because 0. But let's take it back to 0. I had to record because I accidentally forgot something and spoiled something, so I had to. So I like this because you deal with 2 types of stories. You're dealing with this father and his AI, and with that sort of story, and how that works, and all the stuff around that, and the origin of the AI, the debate of the AI, and the philosophy of the different sides. You're also dealing with the action of the stereotypical Terminator sort of film with the kids. And you have those 2 sides side by side. And I like that as an interesting idea because you're constantly debating about it. And I do love that, yeah, you do still, it is a Terminator series, you do still deal with this sort of action sort of stuff. But you have a lot of stuff where it's like questioning where's the line. I'll talk about that more in the spoiler section because there's certain sections I want to talk about and one that I quite disagree with how the story says the AI. Not that it's not a wrong conclusion, but I would like to put a pin in that. But I do like that through the action you are debating is what the original Terminator had, restoring the original Terminator, which I think a lot of people know by this point. But just so I don't count this as spoilers for this, because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm just going to quickly just say that. This is not spoilers for this series, but because it is part of most series, and I would recommend watching the regular Terminator to get this, because you would get confused. But one of the things that I would, or at least just the first one, because then you get the basic input, with the Terminator is the end of the world, humanity dies, etc., etc., etc. That's the point. The world is going to humans' extinction. And the one reason why I like it is because it's a debate. So, one of the things that first comes up with the debate is one of the kids keeps being like, oh, you can do whatever you want, it's just some robots. As that idea. But we also bring up the origin of the word robot, which they say is Greek, which I've heard it's Latin. I might be wrong, fully. I might be fully wrong, but that is not the main point. The word robot comes from the word, which I don't know if it's Greek or Latin or both, robotis or roboti. I don't fully know, and I'm not good at language, but I know it meant slave, essentially. that is what it means. It's the same thing with, what is it called? It's the World's End, which has a similar message on it about that word. And it's a really interesting idea. And I kind of find that really interesting as an idea. But the one thing which I would like to point out that I slightly disagree is one of the things that she brings up, the AI, is that you have this sort of being, and she's like, do you know the one thing that sets humans apart? And you have a couple of things. One, is it the fact that we bury our dead? No, you have had certain animals that bury the dead. Is the fact that we use tools? No, certain other animals do actually use tools like monkeys. Again, not a monkey animal expert, but I do know there are animals who supposedly use tools. Language? Well, even though animals don't have a language that we can just basically look into a book and decipher, they are doing some form of communication. So there is a language there of sorts. And I don't know if there's any more. And even then, with the English, you have certain animals and certain beings. Why am I saying beings like this? There's some animals who are able to replicate speech patterns, which is really interesting. I don't know the exact name, but again, I do know they exist. I think the most obvious one is not the parrot, but there's a parrot that does it. We all know the parrot of like the one where everyone's like, poly this and poly that. That's a thing. It's in 1891. But besides the point, one of the things that they say that makes humans apart is that they're the only ones that created sort of war that will outright fight their own species. I would like to argue against that, because yes, are we a species that deliberately makes items deliberately for a conflict? Yes. Okay. I think I've just got a bit of makeup so bad. That or yeah, I think this is just. Yeah, it's makeup. Anyway, makes this conflict, and I would disagree. Because if you go down to the root, what is a war? A war is a fighting over territory. I believe that I should live here, or you should not live here. Or I believe I should own this territory. At the end of the day, the conflict is either territory, food, or territory, food, water, and I'm talking about food and water that go way back in the old-fashioned days when that was actually a concern. Territory, food, water, or just land. Owning that land and being the sort of dominion over that land. Extremely rough version of what I am saying. But what I mean by that is, what if lions fighting over their territory, bears fighting each other, except them fighting over territory? Yes, you don't get that for omnivores, as far as I'm aware, but you do get stags and bears fighting over who to mate or who to pass on their genes, which you do have in old-fashioned battles where they want to keep this specific sort of gene pool alive through battles and conflicts. Again, is it very animalistic? I'm not even denying that. But my question is, saying that, I will fully admit that we're the only ones that think we should get arms while trying to discuss peace. There is a very contradictory level and very us versus them mentality that we have. Animals, I don't really think, have that. They attack basically to defend the family. And if they're not attacking, oh well, who cares? And I don't know if that's the same. I don't know. This is just, again, going into debate. But saying that we're the only ones that create war, if other animals do fight for territories, again, not the expert. I can be fully wrong, and this means something different, but that's one I would like to just put a sort of pin in, as I don't really think that is correct. So yeah, that was long. Again, it was just me talking about certain things I agree or disagree with the ideology, which I think is a huge focus on this. Also, I forgot something. Anyway, I'm just going to add it here. I also like the fact that the AI comes from the future. The whole story with both of them, with the future going to the past, and how the past time travel works, which I can't explain fully. Go and watch the show, because that explains it 10 times better than I will ever try and just being like, it means this and this. But I do like it. I do think this is really good. I do think it's a very fun way to look about it. I'm hoping there's a season 2. I don't know where we're going to go with this, but I would love more sort of like debates, because it does have that action. It does have that fighting. You do get those fighting scenes, but I also like them talking about, like, what is the point? What is the meaning for doing any of this? And sort of one of the things I like is, can AI sort of, in a way, have a soul? And I love that idea. It is one of the most interesting things ever. So yeah, this is almost like a 10-minute video by this point. But yeah, this series is amazing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you liked and comment. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
The pirate's favourite shop, Sainsbury's, because they got an Argos.
Before I say this, I know this is bad, but the pirates will be really good if they had a sale. Yeah, I'm gonna see myself out.
I have no intentions of behaving myself today.
Remember, a hip-hop beef is grown men writing angry poems to each other. Until we meet again!
So recently, my mum went on a little thing. I'm not gonna go too much detail about it, but the one fun thing about it is that she gave me one of the goodie bags, which I absolutely love. But here's two of the things that came out of it. One was this, which is a modern day Iron Brew. One of my favorite drinks. I absolutely love it. But here, it's another. It's the same company, I think. It looks the exact same. But this, I'm assuming, is one of their older designs, because you can see the printing looks a lot different, because this is 1901 and the logo is similar. So I don't know if these are two separate companies, which I wouldn't be surprised. I could be an absolute idiot. I'm still keeping this one because it looks amazing. I don't think it is, because it has bars, which I think this is also a bars. So time for a shield hero. Yeah. So yeah, season 3. I like this because slowly but surely you're getting a couple of things. You're getting, because what's happened before was you had the shield hero and the other 3 heroes who are not doing such a good job but being there. But it's always been fun, and you've always had the, I forgot the name besides, as one of a person who has been an obstacle. Why? God knows. She's just annoying. But having her, because she always attacked the shield hero through a lot of it, now attacking the others is actually interesting. I do also like that they're getting some level of like improvement, like being there at the hero, which I like. I also like, I think it's like Compass or something like that. One of the heroes from Another World I got just to this one has, because the hero isn't from here and something's been alright, the voice sort of glitches. Not enough to like, you can't know what she's saying, but enough as like, you can tell something's not right. Not with her, but like,
but with her, but not like she's weird and odd, but more her voice just keeps erroring, which is really interesting. It also shows the more worlds have more heroes, even one that's being destroyed. So yeah. The only sort of spoilers that I will say, they do, because they have the city, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's from the group that earlier on that they say that was sort of like slavish thing. What happened was that there was a bunch of people being sold as slaves. He sort of won them, bought them, both, and then put it in the city. Which I know a lot of people are like, yes. And I know season 1 is very weird with that. Season 1 and season 2 have this sort of a dynamic between him and another person who has a slave relationship. It is odd. Again, I know there are reasons. I can fully explain the reason. I just want to put it out as 1, a spoiler, and 2, just a pre-warning of that is a thing. If that's, you can't handle that fair. I get it. But yeah. So yeah. And finally, I hope you enjoy. I do like this series. I do understand it's a bit weird, a bit odd, and I understand why people might be put off it. But I do like it. It is fun. It is interesting. And it is really good. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
What did sweet Veruca say?
Daddy,
Yes.
buy me North Korea.
Oh, when Veruca says,
Buy.
it's like a battle cry, and when Veruca says,
Mine.
well, I'd jelly for a spine, and if Veruca said, I'd know it.
Now, what is it you want me to
you
do?
to kill my whole family for me, Arthur.
No, I can't do that.
I'll pay you $20.
Okay. Are you crazy? That'll get me killed.
I'll get you a new saddle.
All right, I'll do it. No,
If you burn
I'm
it
not
down, the
doing
voices
it, and
will
I'm not
stop.
fucking working for you.
But I have money to give you.
When do you need it by?
Paimon accidentally swallowed some water.
So yeah, we're here. Let's see. Let's continue. Let's go. Okay.
A brawl is surely brewing. It's on.
What's that? Oh, there's no one this day. There's no one this day. That is not there. Which is so weird.
Hey, Stewie, seriously, thanks for everything you did to help me get my license back.
My pleasure. But now you owe me. That means one day I'm going to come to you and ask for a favor. But I need to know something. I need to know that you're going to say yes when that day comes.
Okay.
Can we go for ice cream? Come on!
I command you to make me a sandwich.
What? No one commands the Ice King to make no sandwich.
What about now?
Okay.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. 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 Aw, dang it.
Did you have to stab him? You weren't there. You didn't hear what he said to me. Well, what did he say? What are you gonna do? Stab me? That's pretty fair.
Yeah, I woke up this morning in a good mood, told myself it was going to be a great day, and then everything kind of just went to shit!
Let your smile change the world, but never let the world change your smile.
OMG, I never noticed. Thank you for this brand new, life-changing information.
Hi. Let me get out of your way.
If I snap my fingers, you'll forget that you were ever gay.
was never gay.
Exactly.
Wait, no, stop.
Yes.
No, stop. You can't. I was never gay.
Okay.
No, I was never gay.
Sure.
You can't just.
What is goody, my gang?
I'll break you.
Okay, truth or dare?
What?
Oh, sorry. Authentic factual response or mischievous challenge?
Mischievous challenge.
Go press that button. Alrighty, buckaroo, I'll snap to it.
What the fuck?
What the?
You really thought you could get away with that tomfoolery?
Bro just said tomfoolery.
Hey guys! Today I'm going to teach you how to make an improvised explosive device, also known as an IED. You can gather these supplies at your local store. What you want is and you can also use which is highly explosive when combined with. Next you grab a pipe, load the in. Now we need a device to trigger the IED. A burner phone works great. Then call the burner phone and... the more you know.
So yeah, Double Dark with Double Roommate. This one's going to be a bit shorter. So, like I said with the last one, this doesn't really add. Because with this format, including the one with Worst Ex Ever, you can't really change much. It is simple because it does a format. It does, here's the story. Here's the start, middle, and end. I think in season 1, let me just double check, I'm not 100% sure. I know it's on this one. I think in season 1, oh, it isn't. Is it? No, that's West. Okay. West. Or is it? No, that's season 2, which is weird. Yeah, in season 1, there's a two-parter, which is the only one that is a two-parter. But for most of the parts, you introduce a story or an event. I don't know how you call these things. It's weird. You introduce the main evil roommate or ex for the ex. You talk about who's infected, you have interviews, and you slowly build up the story from the beginning to the end. Slowly introducing more people and introducing like more of those. And with that format, you can probably do a lot of episodes. I hope you don't do too many. Please save us from so many stories that you can do like 500 seasons of this, please. It's like four episodes per season, which is like 40 minutes long. So it's like 40, 80, I'm trying to think, 160 minutes of content, roughly. This is the rough equivalent. I'm not exact. But it is, you can't really level up with it, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. And again, just a small bit of ad, because for some reason I want to add this and I'm a little bit stupid. Not really much to spoil, but yeah. It is dark. It is brutally honest. So, yeah. Like I said before, in the other episode, this is a dark series, so be prepared for that. But for what it is, telling these stories, it is interesting. And there might be a couple of like, oh, I wish I would have not done that, but you might be like, oh yes, jotting that down, which fully take advantage of that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, even though this is another dark one, and good night.
Okay, go down more. I need to take this out so it doesn't affect the sound. Can you go down more? Oh, I thought I was actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5, and 1.
23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And besides 1 month, all months have 30 or 31 days. Just 30. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. Well, for the other one I wrote in full, but September I'm like a sec. Sep. 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 Nov.
Hey, how come you keep posting stuff even when everyone's ignoring you? If my videos get 5 likes, that means I made 5 folks happy. That's all the motivation I need to keep on sharing my nonsense. But you know what? I ain't leaving this platform. I'm sticking around and I'll make it.
If you have $3, $3, and you take away 2, how many dollars do you have?
26.
No! Tell him I'm not here! Tell him anything! Just don't let him in! Wretched!
I'll come right to the point. What happened? Run out of dominoes? I'll send you some more. You're fired. Fired? On what grounds? This company's never been more profitable. Profits? Now get out. No, wait. Please, listen to me. You can't do this to me. This job is my life. It means everything to me. You don't know what I've done to get here. The lies I've told. The lives I've ruined. This isn't helping me. Get me security. Wait, please. Can I just make one more heartfelt plea? Okay, what did you want to say? No! Oh my gosh, I'm as crazy as my mother. Oh.
Things you never hear in a school assembly.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, boys and girls. I've just had a the size of a baby seal.
Seriously, try talking sense into a cat. They just stare at you with their lifeless, patronizing eyeballs for like a couple of seconds, and then they just walk away. And then you're like, don't turn your back on me. And they're like, nah. And then you're all like, and then they're all like, nah. What it is, what it is.
I'm fine. That was a gasp of confidence.
Hey,
you ever just do that?
Yeah,
you feel so confident that you're like, ah!
So yeah, let's start this hunt. Anyway, this is really fun, and even a bit of context. I was planning to watch this like ages ago, but then I was like, maybe not. But slowly was like, yeah, sure, why not? Everyone talks about Hunter x Hunter as really good. There's a lot of like talks about specific characters. I'm like, okay, take this all off. Let's watch it. So it was so cool, and there's gonna be a lot of spoilers. So yeah, I knew there was gonna be a lot of spoilers. This is gonna be a 10-minute video. And we're already 30 seconds in, and it's just straight into spoilers. So you have separate arcs. You have the first arc, which is sort of the licensing exams to be a hunter of sorts. Because that's how the world works. They're trained to be hunters. You have to have license. You get a bunch of things. And I like it. And I like the idea that you have different types of, like, through you learn about the different ones, which I really like. The only sad thing is, spoilers for a bit in the future, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One thing that happens is that this character here doesn't get his license. Technicalities, it's really interesting, and there's somewhat of a control thing, and it's really messed up. But when he goes back again, it's like, oh, well, test done. I'm like, I wanted to see another one. Shut up. I know I would waste more time, and it was just him doing the hunter's license. All the other 3 get their hunter's license in the first one. It's just, I still would have wanted to see it again. That would have been fun. But the next arc is going to his house and sort of talking to him, which I also like. I also like the little trick, Battle 321, with the coin that they did, chucking up and doing that, is so insane. And the way that they, like, show how he actually did it is so fun. Going on to the next one, you deal with the training, learning about Nem, and learning about this is the actual, like, figuring out, like, oh, you are actually it. Because figuring out this sort of, like, system is really interesting. It gets insane powers later on. But that is fun and really interesting. And the tower is so absolutely amazing. Again, this is all fun, and there's so many moments that I like. They're definitely starting to... Because they talk about it, but then seeing the spiders is absolutely fun and absolutely interesting. And that's one of the things I absolutely love, that sort of thing. And then coming in with this heist and all of this stuff, even though we're not wanting them to win. I like heist, shut up. It's really good. And then that goes into sort of like this video game. It gets introduced 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as a video game, but then you realize they're teleporting you to another place, which is really fun to think about. Like, it's a video game. I remember, wait, you wouldn't need to teleport our bodies if it was a video game. So that's really interesting and exciting. So, like, it is a video game, but rather than being digital, it's fully in another place, which I absolutely love. And one of the things I love about this arc is the dodgeball fight. That was so interesting and so exciting. So yeah. Then that goes into the next one, which deals with the bugs. And that one was sort of the one that sort of like, besides one small thing at the end, sort of had the most of it. Because it dealt with going in initially, going out, training with 2 other people, who I liked one of the powers where if he, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, punches someone, it gives interest, and if you oversee that, you can't use Nem, which is so fascinating and so interesting as an idea. Also, I like the idea that he looks... I bet like a dog comes... Oh, a dog! It's like super aggressive. And that's... I'm not against that. Again, I've watched Nico B's playthrough and love Persona 4, which has a similar idea. I always forget his name. Kanji, I think it is. Let me just look it up. It has a similar idea with that, where he sort of does that sort of type of thing. Ooh. Persona... No, it's not Persona 4, it's Persona 5. I don't think they should. Oh no, it is Persona 4. I'm going legitimately crazy. Yeah, Persona 4 doesn't need a remake. I just know they're going to make a remake of it. Persona 4 Victors. You say we should Kanji. I probably butchered that. So you deal with that, and then you deal with even more training because these 2 are taken out. Also, I love the fact that these people, besides these 2, which he gets introduced in the training arc, these 2 just leave and come back because after after the initial sort of like registration, these 2 leave. Then they come back during the assessment and all of that stuff. And only until the final sort of thing, which I'm coming to later, he comes back and he doesn't. So you have half the show where you have him coming in and out, and it was like, oh, I thought you might see him a bit more, which I could realize. Like, you see the spiders come in, maybe he tracks them somehow, and then they do this thing with the bugs and the spiders. I don't know, but he doesn't, which is fun. As an idea, like, they build him up, and then like he leaves, he does his own thing, which is good. Like, sometimes you don't need that. The one thing I like, which is very stupid, there's one character who I like, which later on, when they sort of go back, you're dealing with human-animal hybrids, and a lot of the designs are so cool. Especially, like, there's a penguin one who dies earlier on, which is sad. Final 3 to 1. And the other one, there's this one that's sort of a cat-like, and yes, a cat-like humanoid design. I have a thing, shut up. There's a lot of shows that have that, and like, there's even one anime that I'm watching now that has that, and I'm like, yeah, that is an amazing character. Yeah, shut up. But one of the things is that, like, I'm like, yay, let her live. She's a horrible human being and most likely a psychopath. I have bad taste in people. Jeez. Oh my god, Disney people, like, oh no, he's a serial killer. And then I go to anime, it's like, please, I would like to meet you and hug you, and she will most likely kill me and hypnotize me. Why am I like this? This is probably the only time where I'm being like, yes, to a character. But yeah, I also like the way that it ends, which is sort of anticlimactic. It's sort of disease, which is like, you realize how messed up the big leader of the Hunter Association is. And the last one is a voting one. Which one, I love the Zodiac design. That is so cool. Also, will there be another Zodiac for the rat? I don't know. I have questions. And yeah. Also, the other thing I like is just overall, at the end, throughout all of this, he meets his dad, and then he has a conversation, and it's so awesome. So yeah, that was a lot. So yeah, it was a lot because I watched this. This is good. So I 100% recommend for you to watch this. So yeah, having that all being said, having that long ass thing, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked. And yeah, good night.
Okay, hi. I'm back. I have my mask. For some reason I took it to work. 550. Actually, no, I'm going to do it properly. Through all your battles and all my rhymes, you have died 500 and... With this. Okay. Never mind, I keep forgetting to do this. Keep thinking that you can just, open the project, but... Okay, someone told me to try and not get any... So I would get... I'm gonna obviously get... I'm gonna try this. You didn't do so well, so I'm just gonna go back to here.
Right, this is gonna be fun, so let's talk about it. What if I told you that there was a movie coming out, and this was the cast? You got Ariana Grande, Matthew Perry, Tyler Perry, because why not? The one and only Kid Cudi, and Christopher Jamal Evans. What would you think that movie is about? I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it. Got it? Okay. What if I told you that the rest of the cast involved these people? Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Kate Blanchett. While we're at it, let's just say Jennifer Lawrence is also going to be a part of it. We're also adding Timothée Chalamet to the mix. And to top all of this off, Meryl Streep. What kind of movie are you thinking of now? Now you're probably wondering, Straw Hat Goofy, is this even a real movie? Why, yes! Yes, it is! It's a movie called Don't Look Up, and it releases on Netflix on December 10th. Wow.
Sorry. Hello, Stonehenge! Who takes the Pandorica takes the universe. But bad news, everyone! Cause guess who? Could you all just stay still a minute? Because I am talking! Who's got Pandorica? Answer, I do. Next question. Who's coming to take it from me? No plan, no backup, no weapons worth a damn. Oh, and something else. I don't have anything to lose. So, if you're sitting up there in your silly little spaceship and you've got any plans on taking the Pandorica tonight, just remember who's standing in your way. Remember every black day I ever stopped you. And then, do the smart thing. Let somebody else try first.
I gather it's not always like this, having to wait. I bet you're always the first to leave, Doctor. Never mind the consequences, off you go. You butchered my family and then ran for the stars, am I right? But not this time. At last you have consequences. How does it feel?
I didn't butcher them. Don't answer back. That's what she wants. I didn't. What about you? You had an emergency teleport. You didn't zap them to safety, did you?
It only carries one. I had to fly without coordinates. Ended up in a skip on the Isle of Dogs. It wasn't funny.
Sorry. It is a bit funny.
Why are you still here? Why are you here at all?
Right, you phoned me. You were looking for the internet.
That was you.
Of course it was me.
How'd you get here so fast?
I just happened to be in the neighbourhood. On my mobile phone.
When you say mobile phone, why do you point at that blue box?
Because it's a surprisingly accurate description.
Okay. We're finished now.
Oi, no.
Looks like you could use some help from the big boss of hell himself. Check out Daddy's glowing reviews on Yelp. 5-star flawless, really great. With a punch of a pentagram. A whack, bam, boom, I like Kazam.
So yeah, another dark and short one on this one here. Caught in the web, though. So yeah, there's a mystery around a missing person, or more specifically a murdered person, and slowly through connections you realize what's going on, how this is happening, and yeah, this is really interesting because it's like looking at this story and then learning about different things, which I do like. I do absolutely like. But yeah, again, this was good, but I already watched a bunch of dark ones, and compared to Worst Roommate Ever, which has the animation looks like the worst ex ever, this wasn't that great. It is good, and it has an actual impactful story, which is, again, more important. Stuff like this should be taken seriously as actual, this is effed up. But again, not talking much about crime, because this is actually effed up. I'm saying this, it's not as good as I thought. I don't know why. So yeah. But yeah, the only, I think, thing of spoilers is it kind of goes like through different people and through their reenact what it seems like through what they heard at points. You get one person, and that's obvious. It's like, that's obvious. That's how a crime documentary works. But I don't know if it's just me or I'm an idiot, and I fully will take that. But it's seeming like it goes back and then takes their perception, their viewpoint, because I can't say the other word because I'm an idiot. And then it carries on. But yeah, this is good, but I think there are better. But again, I prefer to look at this more, this is something that happened, rather than here's a piece of media. Because this actually happened. This is a crime that actually got committed, and it's effed up. So yeah, this was really good. Well, pretty good. If you want to watch it, watch it. I hope you enjoy, and good night.
Okay, that looks interesting. We escape this. It's like, yes, we're planning to help people around the world. We swear. There probably is. I'm being too pessimistic sometimes, and sometimes I do too much. Okay. Also, I don't know. I just like that weirdness.
No? I look like James fucking Bond.
My martini, sir. Shaken, not stirred. I saw this video and had to make that line.
Are you hungry? I'm hungry.
I haven't got anything in.
You've got everything I need for an omelette. Finzer, put there. So, who's the girl on the fridge?
My friend, Sophie. Girlfriend? Friend who's a girl. There's nothing going on.
Oh, that's completely normal, works for me.
Yeah, we met at work about a year ago at the call centre.
Oh, really? A communications exchange. That could be handy.
Yeah, firm's going down, though. Boss is using a totally rubbish business model. I know what they should do. I've got a plan all worked out, but I'm just a phone drone. I can't go running in saying I know best. Why am I telling you this? I don't even know you.
Well, I've got one of those faces. People never stop blurting out their plans while I'm around.
Pepsi or Coke? Which one do I...
So, I know this is both useless, not really relevant to the video, and mostly just really a bad meme joke, but the obvious answer is Dr. Pepper Zero. I know that was one either of the options, but this is a far better drink.
Swipe away. Seriously, swipe away. Okay, you want to play hardball, huh? Swipe away. Swipe away. Swipe away. You need to swipe to the next video. I command you to swipe to the next video. I'm warning you. I'm warning you. If you don't swipe away right now, you're going to be really sorry. I command you to swipe away. Swipe away. Swipe to that next video. You better swipe to that next video right now. If you don't swipe right now, you're going to be sorry. Swipe. Why aren't you swiping? You can't swipe? Is something wrong with your finger? Why can't you swipe? You need to swipe the video away. I'm telling you, you need to swipe. Why aren't you swiping? I told you, you need to swipe. I mean, there's probably a much better video right after this one. Why haven't you swiped yet? You need to start swiping. Swipe to the next video. Now. Swipe. You better swipe. Swipe.
Now, what do we say when our depression gets bad? My depression is chronic, but these ass cheeks are demonic. You better possess.
Time for the handyman to arrive. Finally, I needed someone to fix my boiler. So yeah, this series, the one thing I'm going to quickly point out, which isn't a story thing, it's a structural based thing. A lot of the times with TV shows, you have an episode. The episode has here's the sort of thing that is in this episode. Just a sec, don't worry about this. And then you get either you'd get one of two things, which is either something with a story or just one of jokes. That would just be for the thing. You don't usually get a large overarching story, but you might get a filler story where they just do one episode with like a fun thing, or an episode with a two-parter, or a more overarching part of the story. Right? And that is quite a bit of things. The episode are beginning to end. There are some which kind of have two. Hansel and Gretel, Phineas and Ferb, I think do sort of here's one story, but the episode's not over, so here's another. Both of those are common topics. But this one has more than two. So you have small moments, small little jokey bits, building up this sort of stuff, and I think sometimes you get like 3 to 4 little sort of like small pieces all together, cutting to this and that. having these sort of moments with individual characters, and I like that. Because even though there's clearly a story, that's less of an importance, I feel, at the current moment. The characters interacting and the comedy around that, and also some of the story around it, sometimes there is less than 3, and goes to 2, but you get like smaller moments with individual characters, which I like. Look at other characters, look at these people, and look at how their magic, their system works. And look at them as individuals. Even though Handyman, this guy here, is a huge part of it, sometimes some segments are just not with him. Actually, there's one section which has a wizard with a giant wand and just absolutely hits people. He has it twice. It's one section which is, oh, how do I get through this? And he physically just breaks the wall, which is fun. Don't worry about that. The other one is a one with him, I think it's the first one, and that's the second one, where he comes together and is like, oh yes, spells take too long. And slowly but surely, I don't know where he's come in, because there's stuff with the sort of heroes party that they're creating. The guy with the sword, the guy with magic, because the Demon King's dead. This is one of his anime series where it's like, here's the magical world, but the Demon King, then that subplot, that's done, he's dead. Which sometimes I like, because it's just fun. It's just people being people, going to labyrinths, finding new things in a labyrinth. And you get so many of this stuff, it's really interesting. And you get this group, which is absolutely really interesting. And I also like the sort of idea that, like, some episodes deal with, like, him not feeling like needing to learn a bit, because he's not like instantly, yes, and now I have level 9 magic. He's a handyman, so he's able to do some small stuff, like open locks and etc., that allows him to sort of, like, help with chests and this. But he's not like, and also remembering this guy's spells, because he forgets it all the time. But I do think this is really fun and really interesting, as sort of like that fun twist. It doesn't take itself like, it's a fun magical experience, and yeah. And even though the isekai is the marketing handyman in another world, I don't think it is the only thing that's interesting about this. And other stuff is important. Like, there's a ninja, and that guy is awesome. And how that sort of, like, story beat ends is really interesting. So, yeah. This is really worth watching, and I would definitely 100% recommend it. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and good night.
Donald, heal me!
No!
Do it!
No! I'm saving my magic for something useful. Besides, you have your potion.
I'm not gonna use my potions when you still have magic!
You just let yourself get hurt again. It's no waste. You need to dodge and block more.
Tell that to Goofy!
Miss me?
Doctor!
Jenny! Just when you think your favourite lock-picking Victorian chambermaid will never turn up, Jenny.
You have no idea how good that feels.
I love it. It's like, you're a drunk fella. I know, isn't it great, right? I'm like, I don't think that's meant to be the lesson you take from that, but sure. Where's Mr. Going Warren? And maybe this isn't. I don't think I've got the time right. Oh shoot! Wait, what? Okay, that's good. Okay. And maybe this isn't. I don't think I've got the time right. Oh shoot! Wait, what? Okay, that's good. Okay.
This maple is dead. So is this one. I mean, probably this one too. This dipper also might be dead.
So this is a bit of an odd one. This one's talking about the book saying none of the maples made it home. And with all the ones of the possibilities in the book, where it's like The Lost Tales, where you see a bunch of maples in another world, you can make an argument that they're not dead, but if the book specifically said not all of them made it back home, you can say that they're lost within that nightmare realm forever. The book of, like, Choose Your Own Adventures, I think some of them do die, so there is a possibility that some of them in the book did die. But the only one that is the exception is the chibi version. Because if you look at the intro of the chibi, all of the stories came together, they took all the stories, built this world artificially, and then stuff came out of it. So technically that's in a forever frozen period of time. It's like the Mabel bubble. Okay, let's see what I get. Okay, out of these, who do I want? I want... I think... the Devil Fruit Mastery. The DF Mastery. I think Gravity Powers will be useful. That was way too much thinking. Ooh. I think this one. Ooh, this one, because this gets me faster in the moonlight. That would be useful. I think that will be useful. That would always be useful. And what mine am I going to get? So yeah. So yeah.
So let me see if I understand this. A dog is not naked until you pull its collar off. But I want to walk into an area wearing nothing but a collar, and suddenly I'm publicly indecent, and I shouldn't be here. I'm not allowed in the cemetery at this time. I should put the shovel down because I can't exhume the body of former President Ronald Reagan to make a bone toilet. Double standards much?
Dopinder? What was that?
That was Bandhu in the trunk.
Bandhu?
My romantic rival, Bandhu. He's tied up in the trunk. I'm doing, as you said, DP. I plan to gut him like a tandoori fish, then dump his carcass on Geeta's doorstep.
I did not tell him to do that. Absolutely not. You got lost in translation. Dopinder, this is no way to win Geeta's heart back. I'm so proud of you. Drop Bandhu off, safe and gentle-like. Kill him. And then win Geeta back. The old-fashioned way with your boyish charm. Kidnap her.
So yeah, time for some sweet reincarnation. So yeah, let's get into this. So yeah. This, like the other one, is reincarnation, but it's to do with sweets and like cooking and this stuff. And like the other one, you get a little bit of a negotiation. This is a little bit more like, he's more of like a sweet person, besides like, it's like a lot of the other one feels a bit more sarcastic than this one is. Besides with people he doesn't like, but who doesn't like that? But I do like the idea that like again, it's the whole point, but sometimes when you get like this one mark here, it is fun to just do the extreme, be like, and then this, and then he just goes off with like, what's that kid talking about? Sort of energy, and it's really cool. And just really fun. The other thing, it is smaller, this video, because again, it's just a fun reincarnation series. It is really worth watching. But the one thing I like is that his knowledge isn't just like, and now if you make this and this, it makes this. And there's a lot of that. But I like the idea that in one of the beginning episodes, he sort of talks about this farming technique that sort of helps boost crops. So it's not like, oh, I have just baking on the head, and I like that idea. That he does know a bit
outside of that specific box. There's another one that does it better, which I'm also going to review, which will come up soon. But yeah. So yeah, it's really good and 100% worth watching. So yeah, hope you enjoyed and good night.